It has been a bit of time since we've last hate played through Wuthering Waves, where our entire existence becomes, man, I hate this. We have been some time. Although I will say, as much as I do find myself disliking elements of Wuthering Waves more often than not, sometimes during these early parts of these big quests before they turn to like absolute trash, there's like a tendency like, you know what, maybe it won't. And you know, that will they won't they is the true enjoyment of Wuthering Waves. The true value of Wuthering Waves is found in the, well, maybe, you know how like they say in a romance show, like, oh, maybe they'll get together, maybe they won't get together. But you know, we already know they're gonna get together. But in Wuthering Waves, there's a real risk in here. Maybe they will make a good fucking quest line. It'll be crazy if they do, but you know, like there's more like actual will they won't they in there. There's like a threat here. They are threatening to make a good game, or at least a good quest. So far they have not delivered on that. But you know, early days. Well, actually not really early days. We've got about 3 to 4 more quests to do after this one. And if they haven't pulled out, you know, the proverbial rabbit from the hat yet, whew, I am not particularly excited. Oh, hey there, Arctic. Yes, the appeal of abusive relationship. It is. The abusive relationship being my relationship with Wuthering Waves, you see. That is the real abusive relationship. The abusive relationship that we all should aspire to. The one where I'm playing Wuthering Waves and constantly talking about how much I hate Wuthering Waves. With qualifiers there, and you know, usually something about Luno's feet, but qualifiers nonetheless. Why not play WuWa for females when you can play GFL and look at the girls' feet? That is an interesting kind of point, actually. Not that I'm looking too far into the gooning element, but like, you know, at what point does looking at cute girls for the sake of looking at cute girls kind of go, well, why bother with multiple of these games? And I think there's something to be said about that. Like, but the thing is, I'm not really playing Wuthering Waves purely for the women. I'm playing it because I made a promise. And also because I've kind of got more of a curiosity. Like someone who's watching a train wreck. Or watching, you know, the opening hours of like World War I where Franz Ferdinand just got shot. It's like, oh my god, this is gonna go awfully. I have to watch. You know, you just can't help it. I'm listening to Vocaloid music and playing Helldivers 2. You are on the back burner. I will chime in there often to bully you though. Fair enough. Helldivers 2. I'm thinking about having a match of that sooner or later. Actually, check out how all the updates are going for it. Have they finally added in things that I care about? And by things that I care about, I mean, do we have jiggle physics in Helldivers 2? Because that's my red line. Everyone's always arguing about Helldivers 2. They're all like, guys, the balance is all stupid. You guys, it's too difficult. Where? Fucking cringe loser beliefs. No. Have they got them fat titties on Eagle 1 yet? That's all that matters to me. And you know what? I think I'm not alone. Damn it, I thought I could get on top of it. Damn it. Yes. Okay, then maybe they actually have made a good game finally. But yes, I think there are a lot of choices if it really comes down to it. If you're trying to play a gacha game purely for the sake of getting off, for lack of another term that is more accurate. I find myself though not particularly like Wuthering Waves is great for the women. They're all pretty good. But you are correct in that I'd say like some other gachas, like Girls Online, do have it better. Big titties are haram in modern games. In some countries, correct. I imagine that you probably can't play certain gacha games in certain countries because of that actual fact. And it's going to get worse, by the way. It's going to become worse because, like, you know, I talk a lot about like the intersection between gaming and like, you know, pop culture and censorship and stuff like that. 100%. The world has become so globalized at this point, and we can see like we literally see like the fucking fine outlines of various organizations, you know, Karen groups, various like faith religion groups like Islam perhaps, or Christian groups, or other political groups trying to censor things like weathering waves and that. It's going to happen. There are going to be more of that, and there will be countries and stuff, especially as they get more used to controlling the various things via, like we've seen in the UK that they're fully now committing to the social media ban for kids, and the indirect ID for anyone who's above 16, I believe, as well as anyone who's above 16. The truth of the matter is, once that step is made, that foot's in the door, look for Weathering Waves and Girls Frontline and those kind of games, because they'll be next. Perhaps not as a cultural thing, I'm sorry, as a political thing, like the social media ban is to a degree. I actually did a bunch of research when I was younger. It was part of my chosen research subjects into the Soviet Union, and one of the things that most impressed me with how the Soviets lasted so long as a nation state was Lenin was very clever, and Lenin basically said we need the kids, and essentially made the first move to basically all right, we need to make sure the kids only see our message, they need to become like ours. And they were right, honestly. And focusing on the kids there probably led to a lot less internal disruption to their systems until much later, until they couldn't afford to keep the eyes away from the West, and their own actions of trying to outspend the West and stuff like that. But that's another question. The point being, as I totally see the social media ban as someone who engineered that has an idea that the social media ban will benefit them some way politically. And then there'll be other actions that'll be taken for that. But eventually, all the time, sexuality, hotness, pornography, those kinds of things will always become the next issue down the path, especially under an authoritarian kind of regime that's stepping on these things. And now that the UK and various other democracies will probably go down that, things like how sexual anime is, or the levels of attractiveness of women, or the chest size of consent. You probably get you will probably find 45 gets in trouble and stuff like that. Those kinds of things will start becoming more prevalent. Right now they're pretty prevalent in their own ways, with your Visa MasterCard backdoor thing for activists and things. But as they become more mainstream political arguments, because there's more people online, and they can be maneuvered into various political categories and groups and stuff like that, because nothing is avoided with these types of things. Eventually you'll get put into a truncated thing. You might feel like you're on various points of different feeling about various topics, but eventually it's just easier for politicians, it's easier for people who like to move dials and things like that, and believe they're controlling societies and believe they're doing the better things, to just kind of push things into one side or the other. I have a feeling that things like wanting hot women will probably be placed pretty easily into the they'll pretty easily be put into the probably you're some sort of right-wing gooner, I'm thinking, is going to be the opening thing, which in turn will lead to that kind of banning thing. Politics and stuff like pornography always gets entwined in various ways. It's hard to say how it's going to perfectly be portrayed, but look out for that now that we're heading down that path. It'll definitely happen. I'd like to see them try and censor my physical copies of Dead or Alive streaming console. Yeah, that's why they say take physical items and stuff. Nobody wants most gamers just want to be left alone. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. We all just want to be left alone for the most part when it comes to these things. But that's why physical copies are ideal, because I kid you not, they've already done stuff, censorship stuff with, I think, various Netflix shows that are already on Netflix, had episodes pulled or had certain things censored or turned off because of various sensibilities that they had ideas. Censorship for a variety of reasons, be they they said a bad word or something or another like that. That has happened and will continue to happen. And game remakes will do this. Games existing right now will do this. If they were to make for example, if there was a old version of a game on something, they'll probably take it off and replace it with a remake version or a remastered version, which probably removes what they don't want to have on there. And obviously removing it is economic as well. But then eventually you'll get to the point where things you'll have a JRPG that had a scene with some girl, like, I mean, having her tits out or something, or like, you know, not tits out, probably just like bikini, knowing the Japanese. And then that'll be turned out, and they'll start small. It'll be things like, oh, she's got like an vest now, and then it'll keep going and going and going until every new and modern post JRPG just seems to be not going that far, and eventually you'll reach that point. Games will never completely disappear, but a lot of the things regarding sexualization will be hammered down upon as it enters into an arena of like somewhere they can just make fights happen. It's just the unfortunate reality of it. As groups who have influence as well, and who have their entire abilities and focuses focused on the regulation of those things for whatever political or ideological reason, come to understand and join hands with the government that now also has high levels of censorship ability. That's just how it is. So yeah, we're probably going to see Weathering Waves reduce certain things in time. I mean, they've already done that to a degree, probably in the back rooms. The real test is going to be when the power is going to be outstripping their back room influence when you see existing games release and then get censored. A good example of this, which is quite minor, is the money hogging girl in Zenless Zone Zero. In Zenless Zone Zero, the girl who really likes money she was really hot. I remember her trailer was really fucking hot. But like she used to have just like full on normal like tank top, normal stuff. But after that trailer came out, very conveniently, suddenly she had like a black top that would cover around her side boobs and stuff. That'll be the kind of thing you'll see more drastically, not in that kind of minor, just a little covering kind of sense. You'll see that a lot more drastically. And that's not just because of things like the UK, but that's things like China, that's things like Korea, that's things like Japan, that's America, that's Australia. All of these countries become more online. A lot of their battlefields for various interest groups get more online. The influence of those governments who seek to control what people see online for their own political purposes is paralleled by smaller organizations and groups within their own political forces, both left or right or whatever the fuck, wanting to exert that power from their moral perspective as well. And then you'll see this, because almost universally, most political parties find it much easier to go down the path of, I don't like too much sex, as opposed to more, please. So it's a bit of a political suicide to say, oh, yeah, just let the fucking gooners have fucking Weathering Waves. Like, you want to have girls sucking on toes on GFL? Fuck it, do it. They got their stuff, you know, like, just fucking let them do whatever they want. Like, no, who cares? That doesn't matter to them. It doesn't matter to them that any of the people who are involved in those particular things are entirely, like, just doing their own thing and having no effect on anyone else. Their morality will be pushed onto you, and it's going to be the most annoying part. And it's why a lot of, I think, anime fans are getting more anime fans that are traditionally not really involved in various like you know, culture war type stuff are getting more involved in that, because what they see as annoying bloody Karens and stuff are taking advantage of new government systems and government pushes into control, and they're trying to force their own morality on us, like in Weathering Waves and all this stuff. And yeah, it starts its own like feedback of blowback and stuff. But the truth is, it's a bit of a losing battle. I'd love to sit here and tell you that, oh, don't worry, eventually everyone will calm down. The morality police thing will just calm down. We're gonna be able to play our Girls Front Line. We're gonna be able to play our Genshin Impacts. We're gonna be able to goon. We're gonna be able to say, haha, I really like this particular girl. She's so cute. No. The truth is, they're all going to be curved off more and more to a degree, no matter what you scream about on Twitter. And I hate saying that, but it's the truth, because we're entering, like, gaming is entering an arena with extremely powerful vested interests in their vested interests, the wrong word, like moral positions. People in the real world who we left behind to a degree when the internet became its own like little safe space, if you want to call it that, where nobody really cared, because all of us like, oh, it's fucking gamers, who cares? Like, they were all focused on their, you know, offline worlds and stuff like that. And while there was a degree, you know, your gaming and stuff, to a degree, those things never really made as much headway as you'd like to think. Especially because they didn't really understand things like the online world. And now, because everyone's online in most democracies and things like that, and most of the West is definitely online, the governments need to turn their view, as slow as they might be, onto the online world to manipulate and control, and political parties have to also move their ideas to online, because like that's become more and more and more popular to massive degrees with the outcomes of various political actions. And as that happens, all of those older organizations, slow to act as well, like people who were like, oh, gaming violence, who were originally just offline motherfuckers, are now also online and are like, well, let's look at this titties, get out of here, oh, they're ruining the youth. That reality, it has come and is just becoming more and more apparent every year. Will we eventually reach a point where like it kind of balances out? Probably. I don't imagine we'll get to a point where like literally every woman is going to be like this, like no women, no ass, no hips, no tits. Everyone has to look like fucking, I don't know, fucking one of those girls from fucking Amazing Digital Circus. Not even a woman. Not Pomni though. They'll get in trouble if it's Pomni because someone will make some porn. But that's the truth of I don't think we'll reach that point. But the truth is we will reach a certain point where there's like a very clearly like a solid cutoff where you can't have characters showing off certain skin. For example, let's have a look at our girl here. Rover right now, you wouldn't call her overly sexualized, would you? Not really, would you? But I can tell you right now, there are groups out there from various countries, various religious or ethical groups, people who believe things that are part of, you know, because you got to remember these people who force these rules, they're part of they're in groups that are also subgroup attached to political powers and political groups that can push these things. So we got to look at this side boob there for the rover. That'll be covered up in like a simple one, black cloth. If as simple as that. That jiggle physics, that's one. Jiggle physics will be taken out. I reckon jiggle physics will go. At the very least, it's going to be reduced. Like, remember, here's a good example. Nekopara used to have a bouncy titty slider. The bouncy titty slider was simply used. You clicked on the game, the titties would move. The game got big. The subsequent sequels removed the titty slider. And if that's not an example of how people think and how these things happen, I don't know what is. But yes, she wouldn't have titty jiggle physics. Those gaps between just above her kind of like drawstring short things that'd be covered. Her thighs are probably going to be covered a little bit. And depending on the country or region, maybe shoulder and the back will be covered. Like, you think that sounds stupid? But people do that. They do that. You got to understand, these people used to be not online. These people used to be like, you know, sitting there screaming about like the dumbest things. You might, and there are countries, it's not to say it's an impossible, you know, a surety. For example, Japan went very far with a lot of these things, and even with its own levels of people and political invitations to, like, you know, change up these things, did a decent job of maintaining, you know, attractive women and their politics, while yes, they're impacted with like otakus and anime and like sexiness and all that to a degree as well, to a definitely degree, generally maintained it. But I just think that the West and the rest of the world, in a general monolithic sense, are more prudish. The growing puritanical morals is actually from the youth. The fact that the world is gooning is being turned into. You are correct there as well. Because of the nature of like what I'm talking about in the real world, like, you know, fear, how the demonization of sex, the way like romance and sexuality is portrayed in more mainstream things, there is definitely a more puritanical youth. Like way more puritanical youth. There are so many more, there are elements, people have talked about it before, like where there's like certain elements of sex that are allowed to be talked about, like safe edgy, as they call it. But there is definitely a reality that, and like I said, with like, regarding like your beliefs and stuff, like, you know, political beliefs, if you want political beliefs to happen, you force it in the youth because that's where you'll get it. And one of these things is this sexual puritanical element. Now, I don't think it's political as much as it is like just a result of like a very odd approach to sex that has been done for various like generations. Now, am I here to tell everyone how they need to run their fucking approaches to all these things? No. I'm just saying that I would support freedom of like choice above everything. I would love to have the freedom of playing my Guna game and laughing and being like, look how hot the rover is. As opposed to being forced into a world where everything has to go down this slame in slopification. And the slop being fucking remove anything even remotely attractive because, I don't know, they're scared of it. I say we are getting more sexualized designs and more prudish attitudes in the game. That we are getting more sexualized design and more... Because I see where that's happening, but here's the thing. You know where you say getting those sexualized designs? Not the West. Not the West. You're getting them from Korea. You're getting them from some of the China. You're getting them, you know, occasionally from Japan and stuff. Those places and games and stuff that were less popular or not as popular are becoming more popular. And we're getting those attractive characters and designs and stuff. You know, you got your Stellar Blades and things. And how does the West react? In a generalized sense. Not in a specific sense. But in a generalized sense, they go up in arms. And I don't mean that in games, because they make money. The games make money. But there's a lot of people online, and those people have, you know, voices and that's a form of like currency and changing the world, are very upset about the fact that Eve is very attractive, or that the girl from this particular game is extremely hot. Those voices happen, and I think that's why like we're going to be seeing more like censorship in general of these things. There's going to be like kind of clashing with the idea of a rising prudish morality focused police in like the Western elements, and the more sexually liberal in many respects, while also being conservative in certain other respects in regards to sex, you'll see in Eastern areas. I think it's going to definitely be a clash, and it's why we're going to notice these things. Because the reality is, if everything was like I'd said, and like, you know, people are entering the internet, the youth is being affected by this, these groups constantly going on, you'd see it as a more progressive thing. And you do see that as a progressive matching of like unattractive or less attractive or reduction in sexualization with Western specific things. Like if we look at America as a monolith, lots and lots of things, now of course there's always going to be a little exceptions, are very not attractive or reduction, or like kind of like this uglyification type thing, this fear of sexual expression that goes too far. All of those elements would be very clear and much more scalable, and you could understand it a lot more clearer if it was just America we're looking at. But the thing is, the world is not just America. It's like the mix of everything, and especially from Korea and that, where they're a lot more like, even with their various like rules against pornography and things, a lot of their games are an expression of like, you know, female beauty, stuff like that. Like look at the Rover. The Rover is amazingly attractive, and she's got massive jiggle physics. Good lord. That's the kind of thing you wouldn't see really much in a Western game because of those fears. It's just a cultural thing. Now, people would still buy those games, of course, but it's a cultural thing that is kind of like a kind of built up, and like, and this culture is in the gaming world, it's in the professional world, you know, it's like the people who are the middle managers and stuff. And now like that worldview is clashing with the Western one, the Asian one, in terms of women. And then we come back to what I mentioned before, which is all of those online, like coming online, and the government's got their force online, and those groups below the governments in those various prudish governments and prudish areas now have force. And while they can't directly do everything all the time, we know they know workarounds. The Karens abused that with regard to Visa and MasterCard. I think just the other day I saw that, I think it might have been literally yesterday, I saw that a lewd VN creator, like he made like you know, dating sims, or like you know, sex dating sims and stuff like that, he made a entirely non-lewd game, like just a visual novel, just normal visual novel, got banned or has been like debanked because he made them in the past by Visa and MasterCard. That is a moral position that has been brought about by people in minimal management, people who sent emails, who worked out that the middleman of Visa can be manipulated. But we are reaching a far point where it'll not just be Visa that can be manipulated, it'll be the actual rules and the actual governments. I would say that Goonslop in any setting or genre can work, but can be also very destructive when it clashes with certain vision of realism. Elements of culture can work good together. Sure, clashes of Western and Eastern can be good. Root cause of this issue. I think it's a moral positioning issue from my position. I think that you can always make amazing games that don't necessarily need sexy anime girls. It's just that there's a lot of games you could make and a lot of places you could place an attractive girl or attractive anime girl that would make a fine game. You don't need them all the time. You can make like a great game if you come up with it. Like, you're like, oh man, what if I make this cool game where there's like a robot and you fight with robots and like you're like a really cool robot, but like the pilot is this really hot girl, and then she comes out of the robot and then she fights someone and she's got like a really hot outfit on. Like, it's just like, yeah, of course, that's gonna make the game pretty good. Just take away the hot girl, it'd probably reduce it a bit. It's just, I think the prevailing kind of censorship cultures of these places. The game qualities themselves, I would always support just the freedom of creators to make it what they want. I always want that more than I want the corpos up top or the producers or the focus groups. I want those people to shut the fuck up. I would always prefer my ideal situation is the West makes games, the East makes games, there's a mixing of ideas, indies make games, and everyone is happy and in their own world. If you want to play a game with a hot girl, you play a lovely game with a hot girl. You want to play a game that has a really interesting story, but not necessarily over-top hot girl, play a game with that as well. I want that world. The truth is, though, a person who wants pure freedom, a person who would like everyone to not be harmed and not be affected by that to a very high level, like, you know, there's probably some lines that I would not like crossed, but in general, a high level of that will always lose to a enthusiastic moral policer. An enthusiastic, politically active moral policer who has levers and powers that they want to grab and pull will always beat the person who just wants it to stop. Which is why, and this is the truth I've actually had to come to realize myself, you have to be kind of aggressive against these people. If you want to, and I don't think it's going to work, ultimately. I know this sounds like a doomer thing, but I ultimately, to a degree, don't think it'll work. But you need to do it to avoid a complete destruction of a lot of these elements in gaming. But I used to believe, live and let live, you know, games, guys, that, people make that, it's all fine, you know? But the truth is, these people who would like control gaming or control elements of their own experience want that experience to be applied to everyone and for their own ethical or moral reasons. And that's just the truth of it. And you can't sit back, unfortunately. You need to step back against that. Now, how do you step back against that? Things like simple things like, you know, talking about something or being actively or vocally strident against it, or you could, you know, send complaint letters, you know, but the unfortunate thing is to beat someone who's a politically active element. And when I say politically, I'm not referring to like, just like, oh, they're in this party or this. No, I mean someone who's attempting to change reality to their ethical or moral position in this case. You need to actively be against them to try and maintain a neutral position. My neutral position of I want people to just be able to make games with no impact from the government, no impact from companies, and no impact from individuals who might find those things morally upsetting. For example, I want people to be able to make Rover with the side boob. And everyone who would be like, I don't want Rover with the side boob, I want them to be like, you can say that, but I don't want you to be able to stop people from making Rover with the side boob. That's the kind of place I want to be in. But I need to be actively, openly, vocally against those people to gain or hold on to even a modicum of power in regards to that. Otherwise, you will have a society that will just degenerate into the Victorian era, oh my god, she showed a bit of ankle. Like, that's the truth of how things go. You can't just sit there and say, well, I'm not involved in this, brother, because, you know, I'm just relaxing. I mean, you can, but when you really sit down and analyze something, the truth is it's gonna come for you. It wasn't Karens that did most things with Visa and MasterCard. It was done by Visa and MasterCard themselves, like their high leadership literally one point strain. Yes, which is, you know, another thing as well. Like I said it before, like middle management and stuff. I think that the Karen thing comes from at least it was revealed that a lot of people did realize that there's a back route around there. to go around with them. And of course, like, you know, leadership positions and stuff. I just kind of don't want them to have that ability. And like, that's why, see, that's where like it's an interesting like position I come to. Like my own politics, to get into my own politics a mild bit in more of a generalized sense, is like, I don't want to have people like interfere with me, don't have people interfere with you. Everyone wants to be free and like have their own position to do whatever they want. But the truth of the matter is you can't really do that, because like I just told you, people are more inclined to push their own morality onto someone else. You can't just sit there. So in an odd situation, I look at the MasterCard thing and think the only answer is to restrict MasterCard's freedom. The only answer is to be like, well, MasterCard, if you are stopping legal transactions that have no position that are wrong, you are making a moral choice to stop legal transactions as a monopoly or duopoly in their case against financial transactions, I will place a law down which is restricting them, which is literally going for a law of holding someone to account to something that technically is like, you know, freedom restricting in some element. I will make a law that says you must fulfill those things. You must fulfill these transactions. That's a legal transaction. Shut the fuck up. You can't sit there and go, there was an anime girl in it, and I think that's kind of fucking Guna. I'm gonna ban you and debank you. You can't do that. That's what I'd force that in. And I know that's against the idea that I once held, which is that why would I interfere with, you know, private citizens, private groups, stuff like that. Everyone can do their own thing. But the truth of the matter is you realize at some point you have to come to realize that everyone is not a nice, kind individual who will all understand that each other's boundaries. No, the world is filled and built upon forcing your beliefs and ideals on others. And while we are in a relatively individualistic society now that champions the idea of you have your own free choice to do whatever you want, it was blood and fucking tears that got us here. And that's something that will easily slip away in regards to minor things like this, even if I doubt fucking democracy itself will one day just disappear. Or at least I kind of hope. I mean, maybe we could find a better political system, but that's neither here nor there. The point is, eventually you need to realize that you need to stand up for these things. How do you stand up is a very hard thing to do, because like, what are you going to do? You're going to go to the fucking political rally for big titties in games? And that's the other issue I talked about before. And that's why I have that pessimistic outlook that things like Weathering Waves and various other games and anime and stuff like that will have censors and will have less attractive females and attractive sexualization of all these kinds because of the fact that like these things are not a popular political position. Once porn or like hot women in gaming becomes a thing that's talked about on Fox News, or in Australia's case, I think like the ABC, that's a losing position for whoever tries to touch it and be like a positive person for it. You could try and be your moral principle position. The other side will just say, so you want to have our young kids looking at these disgusting whores? Well, they wouldn't say it like that. They'd probably say it more like these terrible representations, just sexualizing women, turning them into objects. That's what they'll say. That's what they'll say. And you can't win against that. You can't win with, but I support the freedom. I individually don't. No, you're done. You lose. You lose. You're not going to be elected. The other person is elected. Massive landslide. It is poison in terms of political topics. And each various group will probably try to push the other one to have it as a political position. And it's just how it is. It sucks. It sucks, but you can't really defend it. Because I don't think there's any real societies out there. I mean, there's a few good examples of nice politicians who've got in on the back of I just like hot women. In Japan especially, there's a few politicians who've got into on that. But the truth of the matter is, if your fucking position is I love big titties and you want to get elected and you're like, oh, I want everyone to be able to look at big titties in gacha games, you are going to be ripped apart by the mother and father political party who's like, this disgusting individual wants our children to be exposed to boobies. You're done. You're done. I'm sorry, that's how it is. I wish it wasn't so, but it is. 100% credit card business should not be private institutions. They must turn into public service. There is a position to be argued there, especially after we've seen, like, I'm not a big believer that they can make efficient systems in government, but my God, an inefficient payment provider might just be the ideal. That said, I think it would be a difficult thing to try and turn them into a public institution, because they basically enable transactions not only between nations but also between citizens and like companies and things like that. So I don't think, like, say, people in Saudi Arabia are going to be that happy if America made Visa and MasterCard into a public institution. Like, I'm not going to use your fucking government systems for my own financial transaction between me and, like, I don't know, this other country. Like, you know, it's not gonna happen. Being exposed to boober at a young boy told me the straight white boy I am today. God bless. Everyone has their experience of seeing titties in anime, or not anime, but porn. I remember seeing porn when I was young. It was such a weird experience. This is my experience of my first time seeing porn, and this will tell you how I got ruined. I don't remember how old I was, but I was quite young. I went to a friend's house, and he was like, "Hey, want to see something?" You know, fucking every type of story like this starts. Went over, found his, like, computer. He's like, "This is on my brother's computer. I took it over to this computer." And he just showed me. And I remember being kind of like, huh, that's weird. That's sex, eh? Look at him go at it. Yeah, you want to go play with the Legos? Like, that was me. That was me. Like, I didn't understand. I didn't see the value. But I was a bit slow regarding that for some of that stuff. I must admit, I was a bit slow when it came to, like, being like, look at all those titties. But I suppose I never really got banned. Like, I did get in trouble, like, later on, of course, and stuff like that around my family, who were like, "What are you looking up on the internet?" But before I understood what history was and how to delete it. But I wasn't as you know, jump forward first into to that as some of the other boys, and that's probably because they were all like told off by it, and, you know, once you get told off by something, like, "Oh, now I need to check it out." All the big, oh my God, the big kids are looking at this. You know how it is. But no, thank you for listening to my TED Talk about my belief about how the world is going to go to hell. I'm starting a cult. Everyone's going to come to, like, my little cult area, and we're just going to live, like, in a commune, and the entire thing is going to be like, we shall make Gooner anime all day. And all of your money will be spent goonifying all games that have been prudified as our true resistance to the world. And I'll talk about the goon apocalypse as my, like, position. And, you know, as a cult manager, do I get a harem of women, or is that just, like, something I have to work on? Is that, like, standard with being a cult leader? I don't know how that works. Is it really a harem if they're all a bunch of, like, insane people who have just kind of, like, lost their way and you're taking advantage of them at that point? It's finally the true form of communism. I was at a pizza parlor after a baseball game and decided to check out Dead or Alive 3 in the arcade cabinet. I called the whole team over to check that shit out. Yeah, fair enough. That's a more interesting one than mine of, like, my friends like, check out this pornography I have. Yeah, it's more interesting. All right, but enough about titties. We have spent too long talking about titties. Let us go play the game. My God, I'm going. Look at me go. That's actually a terrible way to stand. Like, it looks silly. Wouldn't you, like, your body be, like, sliding to the side a bit there? It looks a bit silly. Like, I'm just, like, standing. Like, I'm constantly falling despite the fact that I'm, like, going forward at speed. This doesn't make any sense. Oh my God, the wastelands. Let's go find Luno's feet pics. Whee! Alright, let's go activate this in case I need to go here later. Now, remember, guys, last time we were here, this was kind of okay. It wasn't great, but it was kind of okay in terms of a plot story. Let's see if they can keep that up. I like the weird, like, chanting in the background. That's kind of cool. Oh, you've seen, like, visions of, like, how it used to be? Damn, this place got fossilized? God damn! They fucking fossilize the buildings? That's a long time for that to happen. I'm assuming some magical bullshit happened. Yeah. Hey, cowardly Gallia, you should really change your name. It's a terrible name to have. You say enough, yeah, you've been a sentence with but, just like the hypocrisy I tune in for. True? Okay, so apparently you can get turned into stone by the Black Tide. Neat. Boys in my anime Guna game? Cringe and refund. No! See, there's my anti-Guna position. I believe that gacha games should allow men in them purely because I'm also I'm a story maxer. I believe that if you ignore everything for the purest gooning and purest like wish fulfillment of, you know, oh, the girl only loves me, she loves me, like that kind of stuff that like affects everything going down from like the character interactions to the story, like breaking it apart where like the girls can't talk to men and all that kind of thing. You fuck up having the potential of a good story. Girls Frontline 1 did that properly. Silence, cowardly gladiator! It looks like it's melting. That's kind of neat. Look, they're all big cowards. Big cowards! Damn! Damn! What's she saying? Sorry, I was distracted. Melted? Well, I know where I'm melting. Don't worry, Augusta. When the morality police come and burst down my door and say, "Are you using a cracked copy of Weathering Waves to look at Augusta in her original outfit?" I will grab I'll grab like a sword and I will defend you to the end, and I will die defending my computer. She has the Dark Souls femboy headgear on. I mean, it is looking kind of Dark Souls-y. What's our plan of action? Is it to, me and you go back to the tent and have a nice time? Sovereign won't make things easy. That was the monster we fought in, like, 3 weeks ago when I was playing this last. Okay, so we gotta go find its position and murder it. You... Okay, he's gonna go put a bunch of stones around. Okay, so we're gonna trap the big monster in the town of melting houses. Gotcha. He doesn't know. Well, of course I don't know. You know how many times... You think I'm a good gamer? You think I can play Dark Souls style games constantly? I barely made it through Dark Souls fucking 1. To be fair, I had to use mouse and keyboard because, well, I'm poor. I was like, what do you mean pay $15 to get a controller? I would never. Alright, we gotta split up. Can I split up between your legs? What? What? Who said that? Who could you... How did they say that? Stone statues were retrieving their original size and Jews constantly murmur and reciting consequential words. Oh, cool. It fucks up people's brains. That's cool. See, there's so many cool ideas occasionally in Weathering Waves, and then they turn around and like have the most shit-ass fucking story you could ever imagine. Nakama! Oh my god, is this based on One Piece? I knew it! It's basically One Piece! God, where's we gonna go into a One Piece? Mindless puppets, not even death could set them free. We're just like, I don't know, how about we just like rip their heads off and turn them into dust? That might work. Like, I mean, I know that sounds kind of brutal, but like, it might stop them. If they're still like got spooky words in there. So far, the story's alright. I wouldn't call it amazing. Those guys are so dead. Oh, that's true. Oh, it's already activated over there. Oh, look at these things. Die! Look at that design. That looks creepy as fuck. Honestly, if these things started walking towards me and like they started like moving, they'd be way more interesting than the villain like monsters you usually have. Oh, that's neat. Look at those little butterflies. Like, because they're so creepy and stuff. Like, if they moved, I think it'd be really interesting. Could I step on that or is that getting me in trouble? Ew. Look how melted it all is. This is probably one of my favorite vibed places. Like, kind of spooky sounds. Like, creepy people turned into melted rock. You know, so far. But then again, remember, vibe and visuals have always been good for Wuthering Waves. It's always been the execution. Am I gonna get attacked by like the creepy stone statues? Is this gonna be like, we got like weeping angel rules? Oh my god, I have my virtual waifu. Hello, virtual waifu. If they move sometimes, it would be evil. Just occasionally. See, look, look at that perfect angle. This thing has to move, like, just a little bit. Silence, Chinese loli. You are a failure for me. I'll have to go do this the old-fashioned way. God, I fucking hate the Teth system and all that. Such terrible lore. Every time it brings it out, I remember how awful it is. Frequencies. Oh boy! Is it going to be covered? Are we going to meet it and it's going to have like a BDSM outfit on? True gaming. Okay, why am I just hanging out with the virtual thing? I don't know. What do you fucking? How do I get that? Do I just go up there with a fucking test tube? The Teth system is like being kind of like a system that like was kind of evil in like its like usage type thing was so much more interesting when they actually tried to do that, and then they just fucking failed so bad. God, I hate that system. By the way, she's very cute. Look at her like leaning forward like that. She's so fucking cute. Fucking Rover not affected at all. See, this is the part where we should have had her go, damn, you don't even care. And then she has like a little pout face. I'd be like, that's what I would do. See how much more clever I am than you riders Wuthering Waves? Why wasn't she pouting about how her cute bend over look wasn't getting a reaction from the Rover? See? I'm dumb. I'm so much more clever than you. God, they should hire me. Detective, how did you say that right on the first try but not the actual words? What? I don't know. I'm pretty sure I have like brain damage, so. Oh, fuck off. How to ruin a story. Bring out the goddamn mascot. Okay, so someone like, you know, aggressively, he was aggressively eating spooky stuff from strange men, and now he's upset, and he's like, my tummy rumbly. The fucking twink monster, get in the goddamn, get with the program. I'm bullying you because of your brain problems. Well, there are not confirmed brain problems, but I am playing Wuthering Waves, which does, in a way, confirm I have brain problems. Shut up, mutant. Fucking little Nanachi mutant. Not confirmed, but pretty sure. Find me the guy who put all of the black stuff inside you that you were like talking about how it's just too much and like was very, you were trying to get sick from it. Yes, yes, of course you have a good... Just like... You know, if I start treating, like, the little mascot as, like, you know, some sort of horrific twink slut monster, this could get terrible. The jokes I would make would go endlessly. And would also disgust me, so I'm going to not. Man, just trying to smell people? Gross. Look at all the cool... See, that's way more cooler. Look at the little cool, like, fucking zombie-looking shit. Now, if they, like... Oh, a big one. And the music being, like, kind of weird and creepy, like that buzzing effect and, like, the whispering is really nice as well. Fuck's a waystone. Oh, yeah, that was the thing right at the start of the game we saw, and then we ignored that because it wasn't important. The mascot isn't a deeply perverted fairy. What's the point of having it? True! True! They should go all the way. They should go all the way and have your... You know what? Here's my idea. What if instead of this little mutant monster, like little disgusting little monster, our echo frequency was a tall, 8-foot woman who is extremely hot, and extraordinarily like a temptress, and she was originally a villain, and through circumstances got mixed up into our like fucking like marking on her hand, so she can't eat us anymore unless she has our like permission. So she's constantly trying to bargain for our position to get eaten or have part of our power consumed by her, but it is very sexual in how it's presented. I'm here all week. You can hire me whenever you need. I have great ideas. Please call me. Abby fits into this zone like a cube from God of War. You know what? That's a good point. Yeah, Abby's little like mutant fucking mascot form does not fit into this Dark Souls area. Fire riding, damn straight. I can make the greatest idea. Screw mascot characters that are just like silly chibi monsters. Make it a threat that is also a kind of threat that's like, damn, kind of hot. Like imagine 8-foot tall, stacked, evil woman as the mascot, who's dangerous because she also wants to eat you, but because she's tied to you, she doesn't want you to die, so she'd help out with that. God, I'm genius. Well, what is it? More Melty City? Okay, so why is the statue pointing in that direction important for us looking for a monster? Well, yeah, weren't they just like statues pointing in where to go, though? It's not like pointing towards the fucking monster. It wasn't sitting here 300 years ago, turned to stone specifically. That's like some shit like from fucking... the goddamn Star Wars thing where they had that stupid fucking dagger. And it's like, oh my god, the dagger from 12 billion years ago looks exactly like the wreckage from the Death Star. That bullshit. Oh my god, that was awful. Okay, it's magical bullshit. Parasitic woman with miasma of red flags. The sock yearns for death. Yeah, but it'd be great, wouldn't it? God, you telling me that it's instead of fucking this little, like, retarded bundle of fucking trope here, we had this woman who, like, maybe she's, like, an ethereal ghosty presence where, like, maybe her bottom half is a little bit ghostly right now because if she was the full height, she'd be, like, fucking topping out this entire image right here. But she's leaning down next to Reverend, like, I'll help you get there. If you so insist. God, it would be hot. Fucking 10 out of 10. I have great ideas. People should take my ideas. I know I said sometimes gooning can go over the top and ruin certain elements by going too far and ruin the story, and I still stand by that. It's just that you can have a little bit of both. What? Okay. Oh, do I actually get to fight some of the fucking weird looking creature things or like dead things? Whee! I hope so. I hope they don't turn into normal enemies. Because they look like they'd be fun. Am I gonna fight him? Make a move. Shut the fuck up, you little monster. Why are you listening to a song that ruins your mind? Are you fucking retarded, Rover? Oh wow, we can use our magic super sword that allowed you to save that fucking goddamn woman. God, I hated that part. Boy, holy shit. What was the Sith dagger doing? J. James is like, yeah, that Sith dagger, like, that was fucking crazy, that Sith dagger shit. What if she drags you around everywhere, one of your ankles, and she only releases you for like 30 seconds? No, she needs to be kept as both a threat and something interesting. So you couldn't have her be like out all the time, because then she just become a joke. So you need her as, because that's why I don't, but I gotta throw this out there. I don't believe mascot characters are good in the first place. I think they're bad options. Mascots are bad. I think they're an overdone trope. I don't like them. Wow. Can I fight him? Look, I'm just crawling over some guy's corpse. Fuck you. What? What? What the fuck? Okay, so they're people who believed in, like, the god. Oh, now I'm gonna fight something? The awakened figure shattered, approaching a figure, charge explode. Oh, just... So you gotta beat him up. Oh no, it's just making normal ones. Boring. Boring. I wanted to fight the horrific monsters. Oh, look at how, like, I like how the little, like, fucking plants went away when you were in fight mode. That was cool. Come back. Yeah, come back here. Oh, good. Stop it. Oh, that's not fair. Ah, fuck it. God damn it. Ah, die. Where'd you all go? Disappear? Stop that. Stop that. No! Oh, fuck. Damn it! What the hell? Ah, I hate that. I was auto-attacked to the back one when I wanted to go to the fucking statue. I've always liked parties of characters to give their 2 cents. Yeah, I'm okay with that. But why does it have to be the stupid... Why does it have to be a goddamn, like, little mutant monster, like, thing? Why can't it be, like, a person? Paimon's not real. Paimon doesn't have, like, fucking... I don't care about supply crates. Fuck off. Paimon and that don't have, like, rights. They're not human. Ah, what the fuck? Am I frozen? God damn, why are these guys so tough? I mean, they're dying pretty quickly. Weird looking shit. I hate, sometimes the game, like, forces me away from where I want to be. I don't like that. Bonk. Bonk. Bonk, 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 bonk. 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 A successful bonking. Who's your favorite character so far? He likes Abby. Fuck off! Fuck off! Abby can get fucked. Let me think about this actually. My favorite character in the game so far. 2 choices. In terms of just how they were used as a character, and I can't count the characters in this arc because I haven't got to the end of this arc, so it doesn't really count. So I got to feel how they play them out. is what's the name of that girl who you meet in Renesetia? And like she's just like a hired muscle, the one with like the horns and the white hair. Zaz or something like that, or Zam or whatever. That girl, she's great. And you know why she's great? Because she barely does anything. She's just there for her job. She's not really interested in fucking up your day. And she's never used in really bad story writing. And the other one is Lupa, because Lupa's is really nice. Although she is used in a little bit of a shitty story. Ultimately, Lupa's personality was nice, and like I liked the little story. Yeah, like personality-wise, at least. How she was used in the narrative kind of like fell off right near the end. Zanny, that's it, Zanny. I really like Zanny. But as you all know, Murder Man, I am awful about Wuthering Waves. I am awful about Wuthering Waves. I am playing through this game looking for gold, and I keep finding coal. I know you are probably thinking that why are you playing? And all I can say is, I don't know. No, I know. I made a promise. And I'm going to get to the end. I'm going to find the good part in this game, damn it. In terms of the story. And most everything else is pretty great. It's just the story, generally. The main story itself fucking breaks my brain. Alright, but so far, this one's been okay. No. I am not a WuWa LARPer. A WuWa LARPer would be like sitting on Twitter saying the game is terrible without playing the game. I'm playing the game. And I'm saying the game is terrible. I'm no LARPer, damn it. A LARPer wouldn't be in the game playing it. Do I think Genshin is better? I'm not really invested in the whole like fights between various gacha games. But Genshin... I think Genshin's not... No, Wuthering Waves mogs Genshin in a lot of ways, but it's not really a big way. Like gameplay, environment-wise, combat, in some respects, character design, but generally character design, you could say it's just a matter of taste there. I think, however, Wuthering Waves loses significantly, and this is where like my biggest problem with Wuthering Waves is, and anyone who's watched my stream for any amount of time would see, is the biggest problem with Wuthering Waves when it comes to it compared to other stories is the main quest line and lore of Wuthering Waves is actual fucking dog water. I know a lot of people just play this game, and when I talk about how bad the story is, they just say, oh, what are you talking about? It's great. And then they follow up with the setting of, by the way, I always just press the skip button when the cutscenes are happening. I am a story player, first and foremost, for almost everything I play. And I say this confidently. Wuthering Waves has been a masterclass of corpo slop with no real good quality lore. Like, they always seem to fumble. They always seem to pull shit out of their ass. They never let a character really be interesting. But they're very cute, very good with how they show their visuals. But generally speaking, their villains suck. Their main characters generally suck. How they solve a story in a given arc always comes down to, and the rover has a big, strong arm. The few moments where they try and do something interesting, they tend to undercut themselves with a poor execution of some of those things. And generally speaking, they have a big problem with the underlying lore always being really, really uninteresting. Genshin Impact? The problem is, here's the thing. I'm not a big Genshin Impact fan. I like Genshin Impact, but I haven't played it in a while, and I'm not a massive fan. I will say this. Genshin Impact's main stories, you can go, it was alright, a good opener. Second one, oh, it's okay. Third one, absolute dog shit. Fourth one, wow, that was pretty good. That's kind of how you feel. When it comes to fucking Wuthering Waves, it's absolute dog shit, absolute dog shit, absolute dog shit. Hey, this is kind of interesting. And then right at the end, absolute dog shit. That's what happens with all of the main quests. It's so badly written, it boggles the mind. That's why whenever I'm playing this, a lot of people go, okay, I've been watching this and now I'm leaving because you're arguing about this. Because people who are looking up people playing Wuthering Waves for the first time are probably expecting them to see good things. I've yet to see it. That said, we haven't reached the part that everyone lauds about. Everyone always tells me 3.0 is where shit gets good. 3.0 is where shit gets good. We haven't reached it. We're getting there. Second peak is the ending of 2.0. Okay. First peak, Bloober Story is the peak of the game. First peak of the game. Okay. I'll say this much. Looper's story was great built up. I think the ending was muddy, and I'm not really particularly crazily happy, but I think it was probably the best thing so far they'd made. We'll have to see if they're hitting their stride really well. But so far, since the Looper story, everything prior to Looper was so goddamn bad that I had like a crash out about how bad it was. Like, there was an entire fucking VOD that was dedicated to me crashing out about how bad it was. But Looper, I will say, great build up. They fumbled the ending. The one after that, Pavlova, it just felt like they could have done better the whole time. Like, I played through that and I was like, this is something where you could have done so much better, but it was held back by earlier choices. For example, the Rover is a very, very badly utilized character. Great idea for a character who's basically a god or basically has godlike prominences, but has the backstory of like nothing. And when I say that, you might be like, well, what do you mean? No, I mean that the personality of what they have is nothing. The backstory Rover should be their own character. They should have story and personality attached to them, but they don't. And that's because of early choices they made in the game. It's unfortunate they can't fix that. But that really impacted how Farova, which I call Pavlova's, storyline really didn't hit perfectly. And there's a whole bunch of other errors. So far, this one, I've enjoyed the girls and has been an okay thing. It's not been crazy. I would say Looper's story really did a better job early on, but this has been okay so far, but we're really waiting for the second shoe to drop. What else are you guys talking about? My problem with Gacha is that I can't press skip faster. Yeah, because you're all gooning you. The ending could have been better in Looper's story architecture. Actual risk switching the protagonist is. See, that was okay, but I couldn't appreciate them taking the switch up there. That because generally speaking, it was such a poorly done ending in a lot of respects. And I think actually the biggest thing, because like I say, every time so far that Wuthering Waves has become a good story or has put in some effort to become an interesting story, the big problem that's come to them has always been that their back lore is bad. See, their big villain, the Leviathan monster, the I call him the Rohirrim because it's funny, or Rohan, the stupid monster that is like supposedly manipulating people, is so fucking boring. It is written like a monster of the week with the personality of like the low tier mid boss in a gacha game. Its response to things is, I'm so wonderful, you will never falter it. Oh no, Team Rocket, I'm blasting off again. That's literally their big bad in Wuthering Waves. It is fucking terrible. They really need to get a better villain characters going on. It's okay. All gacha games in general have bad villains, but if you're banking, but Wuthering Waves banks a lot on the Theoden type monster. Yeah, that's it. Theoden, that's it, right? Theodan, whatever. Theronian. That thing is terribly written. It's one of the big problems, I think, and it's whenever a Wuthering Waves, like in the Loop story, can have a general nice build up into something, it has to pull into those bad elements, and then it drags itself down. There's other elements that are a problem as well, but I can see where it has been improving. It's just that, like, it's kind of like this. In my opinion, if you shat on a piece of paper and we're like, wow, this is lunch, and everyone's like, that's terrible. And then you take that piece of shit and you put it on like a plate, you add some nice garnish, you get some drinks, you know, put on some nice classical music, it's still a piece of shit. The underlying hasn't changed, if you understand my meaning. Will they eventually be able to overcome this? I don't know, but people keep saying that they will. Female Reverend do the after story quest. I've done the after story quest. Yeah, of our thing. It was very cute. If you think Abby has big naturals, she would still be able to do what she does if she's way her down. If Abby had big naturals, that'd be terrifying. That'd be like some fucking degenerate shit. 10 out of 10. But it'd be mildly more interesting because I fucking hate Abby in general. Mascot characters don't deserve to exist. The VA for Abby is French, and the French and Spanish forces gender towards Abby is referred to as female, but the language doesn't have a gender neutral word, so I don't know if that counts. Yeah, Abby always counted. I always felt like Abby was a girl. I guess, but it doesn't really matter for mascot characters in general. But I fucking hate mascot characters. As I was mentioning before, Abby should have been an 8-foot tall evil woman who is stuck in your hand after a big war with her, and she wants to kill you, but now that you're connected intrinsically, she can't. And she just helps you out of the fact that she needs both of you to live, because if you die, she dies. But she's still always trying to find a way to usurp you and become powerful again. And that would be really sexy. 10 out of 10, that's what I'd want. All right. Fabric's frequency even stronger. Not given. Okay. Okay, so I need to unlock stuff with the statue. I mean, it's better than the statue pointing at where the villain is. That would have been fucking stupid. Oh, it's our illustrious leader, Caesar. Damn, she's hot. Luna's still probably hotter, but I still really do appreciate her. Mods for this game as well. If I wouldn't even try because I'd fucking get banned immediately. How could I'll miss out on in. See, this is the fucking stupid evil whisper thing. And it's like the big villain. It's so bad. It's so fucking poorly written. You good detective, you know what to do. Motorboat? I do like the idea behind the idea that like Caesar's thinking of like becoming a god or like an immortal. Would be a really cool idea. I just feel like the monster, like the whisper monster, is like so fucking badly written that every time it shows up, it's really shitty. It's such a bad, like, because the big reason that it's so bad is that it's so obvious in its manipulation. It's so uninteresting. Not to mention, it has like zero brain power. It feels like an idiot, you know? Like it's stupid. Embrace through your forte and shed your weakness in pitiable shell. Conceptually, this is great. It's just that monster is like cringe. It's like so, like, okay, the idea of a manipulative main MC that like turns, like villain monster that like manipulates people into doing darkness, like, you know, some sort of like eldritch monstrosity is really cool. It's just so bad they didn't do that. They made it just like some stupid woman who's just like, oh, yes, fall for my machinations, ha ha ha. And she sounds so fucking like, just like a hag in a forest. Actually, it would have been better if she was just some horrifying hag in a forest. I would have loved it. Like, at the very least, with Star Rail, when they use like a monster that manipulates you, which I believe the Stellarions that they have, their idea is that they manipulate your mind, or like they get into your brain a little bit. They don't show it too much, but when they do show it, they never show it talking to you saying, well, you should do this, yes, yes, listen to me with my evil voice, trust me, everything will be fine. Like, come on, they don't do that. It's just like like actual weird shit, and like the people losing their minds. Like, it's much more interesting from a corruption perspective. I really fucking just hate the Theoden so much. Theoden. I'm gonna have to use the actual name when I make a video on this game. And I will make a video on this game. I've decided. Answer your call as the one true sovereign. That's a terrible like, image of that. Like, she already has that. What she should be seeing is her standing and like saving like all of like the children that she was going to like, that all died and stuff. She should be shown like defeating the monsters. I like this little art. Sometimes the splash, so like I say, the splash art scenes are good. Angel? Doesn't look like an angel. It looks like a big evil shadow. And it's like eating your brain. A power granted rather than... Is this the part where she, like, then turns around and, like, rips it out of the monster? That'd be really cool. If her plan is to steal the power... Yeah, I mean, don't fucking take a power where you lose your mind. That's stupid. Like, you trying to be a Greek tragedy? Yes, I gained immortality. Oh no, I can't think anymore. I'm but a tree or something. I am a monster. An evil spirit inside me realizes the alcohol is in my bloodstream. True. Now, if Augusta turns around and then grabs the monster and then says, but I will take it. That sounds way cooler. Come on, do it. Do it, Augusta. Oh. Man, I really wanted Augusta, like... See, I think rather than turning... Because, like, every single fucking plot in this thing has been, oh, the whispers are getting to me, and, oh, boy, the whispers in my mind. But, like, wouldn't it be cool if fucking Augusta's whole plan is not to fall to the whispers, but to get them close enough so she could rip out their power or something and try and gain immortality herself? That'd be fucking based. That'd be more interesting. And then, like, you could play up with that. Ah, cool. We're gonna meet up for a date. We're gonna meet up for a date. Hell yeah. I'm gonna weather all over your waves. Wait, what the fuck? Why can't I see myself? Oh, there I am. Well, that was easy. We're already here. Have a cloth. Oh, it's a hand? Oh god, it's clean now. Oh my god, I've done the service. I've cleaned off the graffiti. Okay. Forgotten slumber. Sure. Shut the fuck up. I hate you. You're not an 8-foot tall woman, and now I hate you even more. Okay, so now you can sniff out the monster. He looks like more like a fucking goddamn wizard rather than a gladiator. Shut up, Rover. You're not allowed to say thank you. Okay, here's sexy. Which one is it though? Is that? Hell yeah, Augusta. Come over here. I need to motorboat those titties. Where's her honor guard? She should have an honor guard with her. She's literally... I suppose that she's supposed to be like a powerful entity. I'm gonna get dinner, I shall return. Make sure you get me some. There's a big old monster. What the fuck, man? Give me some as well. You can't just go get a sandwich and then say you're not bringing some for the boys. The fuck is wrong with you? Yeah. So imagine how much better this thing is if instead of we have annoying Abby explaining things, we had extremely attractive 8-foot tall evil monster woman who's forcefully saying things while also making highly suggestive remarks in between threats. Like, I'm just saying I should have written this. Not saying I should write the dialogue. I'm saying just give me the long fucking strokes. Everyone else can fill in the rest. Problem is, I'd probably kill off a lot of these characters and there'd be a lot of angry people online. But I'll tell you one thing. One thing people wouldn't be angry about is how good the story is. They'd be like, damn, this shit's great. Because the current one is really shitty. Weathering Waves. Arsenic Special? Great. Finally. Finally, you can end my pain. Pain of playing Weathering Waves. Okay, I've got to go get... Shut the fuck up, Ab. I fucking hate Abby so much. If I could, I would place Abby in a blender. I wish they would kill off Abby for the shock value, because this stupid fucking Paimon ripoff is so annoying. And Paimon was annoying as well. All mascot characters should be remade into something interesting. Okay, you know, like, fucking... I know in Star Rail, the main girl has, like, a fucking super cancer in her that doesn't speak at all. It's just a super cancer. Why can't we have... just give us super cancer. I'd rather super cancer. Give me bone cancer instead of mascot Abby. Not me specifically. I mean the rover. Me, because I would not like bone cancer. That sounds painful. Why are we wasting fucking dialogue choice talking to the fucking mascot? God, I hate it so much. At least she's hot to look at. Augusta, not fucking Abby. Shut the fuck... Whatever. You don't seem surprised? What's so surprising? See, the language there was also an error there. Level of power shows questionable for an echo, but I trust as much as I trust you. She basically said she wouldn't pry, is what she said. She wouldn't pry because, you know, well, I'm dealing with you. You've shown that you're trustworthy. I'm not going to pry in your business, is what she said. Not like, I trust as much as I trust you. That's not exactly what she was saying. Forgive me. I am a little sick still. My sickness continues. Oh no, I'm getting Weathering Waves stuff. I don't want it. I've never used any of the bullshit you gift me in Weathering Waves. Because I don't even run the dailies in here. What do I hear? Alright, so you tuned into the local fucking... God, why can't the lore and background for this game be at least half amusing? Or at least non-offensive? Enter what? What are we entering? What? I can enter the stone? You know what? Sure. Neat. I've gone into the alternate dimension version, I guess. What do you mean, you small Damn, look at those tits. Damn! Sorry, got distracted. Okay. So we're in the spooky ghost town. There's just a bunch of spooky ghosts. Fair enough. Hey, spooky ghosts! Okay. Kids. The spooky ghost design, like, is kind of neat. I usually hate the kind of boring ass fucking just transparent ones whenever they make ghosts in these games. Well, that's because we don't have to pay children. That's why we ask help for children. We don't have to pay you. That's why. Mains deep would like to hear the heroes hit and whispers and gain mighty resonance, just like Grandma Rose's stories. Strong enough to join the hunt, me and Pa wouldn't have to work themselves to the man. You're strong. Angel? What a fucking terrible name is Angel. You'll have a fine sword fine enough, but your resonance ability is average at best. Oh yeah, because that's Augusta. One thing I gotta mention here in this game is they always talk about the resonance abilities, like Augusta's one being bad. They never really mention what that really means. Like, are they talking about like resonance ability being like the arrow or like lightning? Is there any differences in there? Because they never really go into it. It's not like this is a high spec JoJo's thing where it's like, you have the ability to summon this specific type of lightning, but when the lightning hits organics, it melts into this and turns into that, which causes an explosion within their with their brain. Like, it's not like that. It's just kind of, when they say she has a bad resonance or like an average resonance, it doesn't really strike me as something to mean anything, you know what I mean? If you're talking about showing that mark thing, you know, that could be in a sexual location. You shouldn't ask that. What if it's a private place? Where's she shocked? Where's she shocked? What? Is forge burning? Wait, she's got burns from a forge? The fuck are you doing when you were a kid, Augusta? So she worked really fast and got herself burned? I do like the idea of a character, I must say, because like, as much as I shit on fucking Weathering Waves as deeper lore, the way they explained this story at the start was okay. I like the little like storybook way you got to choose your own adventure, where you kind of like put your own spin on how you felt about Augusta. Like, was Augusta like a cold-hearted girl who was trying to aim, or was she trying to overcome like the nobles and stuff like that? It was an interesting option to go down, but you know, it always gets under fucked over by like the lore that they tried to put in. I'm guessing she died, and she's someone who's going to come back, and that the spooky monster is using as a whispers. Oh. 16年前、黒潮が来る前夜に起こったことだ。あの飛び回ってるやつだ。現れたぞ。Okay. 私たちを案内してるはず。ついていこう。All right, let's go follow this damn thing. Out of my way, children! I'll stab you. Oh god, I gotta listen to these kids again? What the fuck's wrong with this one though? Look at it, she's going fucking crazy. Oh no! This random box is here. Ah! Crying child. Ha! Okay, I got some candies. Stop crying, bitch. Well, yeah, you want to go down there, you gotta be strong. Sounds reasonable. Okay, so Kid is gonna go down to the hole because he thinks he wants to save his brother and he's gonna fucking die. 10 out of 10. Oh. You big baby. What a loser, he's failed. Girl, don't fucking lend out a sword to a crying kid who's probably going to get himself killed in the underground. What the hell's wrong with you? You're not going to come too? Okay, so basically she's helping out all the people in the village too much rather than doing it for herself. Oh my god, Abby is about to explain the story to us because we're brainlets. Shut the fuck up, stupid mascot, I hate you so much. Oh my god, who would imagine who it is? Okay, there's that stupid monster that's pointing towards stuff. God damn it. Let's see. The whispers are evil whispers. Okay, it's corrupted. I need to fight some monsters. Okay, big evil monster, I gotta stop it. Okay, I gotta go outside, murder something, come back in, and then it tells me the story. Gotcha. Fight things, go! Are we gonna be back in the horrible world? Neat. I really do like the visuals. The visuals are really good. Fuck you. Oh god. Oh, I can be fucking hot ass goddamn girl. I tell you. Bonk him! Alright. Go press the button. And back. I like the melty worlds. It looks neat. Alright, fuck off. Shut up, Abby. I'm just doing this. I am free now. How's the waves? They are weathering. I will say they are decently weathering. We're continuing down this story. All I've come to conclusion is Abby should be replaced with an 8-foot tall, extremely evil hot woman who is scary rather than being a stupid little mascot. I hate that thing. But the story itself is doing okay. It's still it's still having its suffering elements being attached to the deeper lore of Weathering Waves, which is, you know, absolute dog shit. I will mention this. I am pretty sure at this point, at some point, maybe not the next video, well, definitely not the next video, but not the video after, but maybe a video after that, depending on how fast I can get through and get up to date on Weathering Waves. I will make a video on Weathering Waves. Not a big one, but I'm going to make a video. I feel like I need to. I have an idea. It won't be a long video, but I'll make a video on Weathering Waves at one point. I feel like I need to tell people all of the insanity that I've been saying about this on stream. I ran a few laps with Eric, and he got dizzy and tripped over his own feet and chipped a tooth. Ha! What a fucking loser! So basically, Augusta, as a child, is like running around, beating people up, being like, you know, all like gun-ho, despite not having a superpower that is really powerful. Not that it matters. I bet there's nothing here but hollow and moss. Dude, the hollow oak is like the fucking deep thing, right? Basically, young Augusta was like always putting other people before her, and like always like standing up for herself, despite the fact that she didn't have the ultimate superpower. She had the attitude, is what I was trying to point out, I guess. I do like the idea. I mean, I'm not sure if they're going to go with it, but the idea of Augusta being like, I am an ideal leader, but I'm eventually going to grow old and die. And eventually, like, my sword won't be strong enough to hold everything together. Why don't I just become an immortal? That is an interesting idea. I don't know if they're going for that, or at least that's not what's being suggested by, like, the spooky monster, because it's actually a kind of cool idea. Is it a little on the nose that the girl who's probably dead and following around in the whispers is called Angel? So the city's having a bad time. Her mum and dad aren't coming home. So they keep not being able to go to this Main's Deep place where they get powers. Okay. If the whispers are real, the great Renaissance ability too now was how we end up being curious both of us. I'm guessing she didn't accept this because, like, obviously she doesn't have a superpower. Unless they're going to reveal it's her fault that her city died. I doubt they're going to reveal that. A hero of heroes? Oh my god, Gilgamesh! Is that a Gilgamesh reference? Oh my god, what reference to Gilgamesh? You still want, what? Yeah, she wants, no, she wants to be like Caesar. Which is really cool. You won't be scared of the dark tide anymore. So basically, this Augusta is a lot more like naive and childish, which is fair. Like, if she just acted like the current Augusta, it would be like silly. I do like the idea of like a character who's useful and like, you know, has naive ideals of the world kind of changing as time goes by and becoming jaded by it. Alright. We gotta go find some more children to listen to their conversations. Or do we? Is this the end of stalking children? Damn, is it me? Or, damn, look at how that fucking digs into the meat of her chest. 10 out of 10. Where did she get those genetics? Yeah, I mean, I figured that out. Oh my god, such a reveal! It's actually Augusta! I never would have thought! She doesn't seem too embarrassed. Oh my god! Wow, I never saw this coming! Of course it was her hometown, damn it! Shut the fuck up, Abby. No one's interested. Nah, I figure it's just a big hole in the ground where, like, you want to go and kill yourself. Sure, nod. Okay. Septimon's frontline thought it held the honor of receiving legends like okay, so this was basically like it's a town like right in the middle of where all the horrible things happen, so it was like well defended and The ruins of an ancient civilization. The ancient ruins? Wouldn't that be like Earth? So is it like an ancient IHOP that's down there? Okay, and you hear the whispers of heroes. And I'm guessing it's the evil monster. Okay, so it is as with the hollow said to lead to man. It's just children's tales. No one ever knew it was real. The Farum never found its hero of heroes. Ever since then, the name was lost, replaced by Memotown. A scar on the sentiment refuses to erase. Well, yeah, they're dead, and they turned the city into a horrifying melting world. I'd probably want to look away as well. This place was like this like 16 years ago. Have you looked at what it looks like when you go back to normal world? It looks like someone fucking went over there and fossilized the fucking buildings. I don't think I'd want to come here. Tell out to the end, okay, so that's referring to how like the city before she took over was like corrupt, so like they kind of didn't help out because there was no noble influence to send military. And this is why she became how she is. That's neat. Did she murder all the lords though? Like, I just want to wonder. Like, when she ascended, did she then go and find all the lords that fucked around and then just have them all executed? Because that sounds pretty cool. I hope they'd have that in the law. I feel like they are a little bit of a one-track villain. Like, the nobles are evil. You know, it's a fairly dull approach. But, you know, it's alright. It's alright. I would have preferred, like, some other element to be there a bit clearer. For example, like, maybe, like, there was, like a split between the nobles, and the reason that no one really came was because that split was, like, basically no one cared about our town because they were too busy with their fighting each other to gain, like, power and prestige. That would be, like, some element like that, as opposed to just, like, lol, we don't care, leave the village to die, you know. Like, or something else, like, perhaps, like, the village's noble controllers were out of respect with the uppers, and, like, they ended up, like, just being ignored because of, like, political convenience. I don't want to see another side. I'll say sincere. Yeah, she's always been sincere. I always hate the Rover's options. Gacha games in general have terrible options to what to say to their characters. Look at these things that she's saying. Perhaps I should spend more time with you like Luno once did. Like, this shit, like, because I learned a little bit about the Luno and Augusta after I played it the first time. Apparently a lot of people considered them, like, in a relationship, which made no fucking sense, really, because every second chance they get, they're just talking about how they want to have sex with the Rover, or implying it. Like, come on. I don't know how you can see it. I could see a threesome. That's what I'm trying to say. But I'm definitely not seeing the three of the other two, they'd be together. But I guess people like to headcanon those things. As I've said in the past, having a little bit of headcanon isn't the worst thing in the world. It's just when you try and force it on other people that people get annoyed. It's like me saying, actually, Abby is, actually a 8-foot tall, super hot woman, and you guys just can't see it. And I just keep saying that until eventually, everyone, if I say it enough, everyone will believe it, right? I don't know, because we pressed a button. Yeah, it's leading us to take out the monster. Who cares? If they just leave with her, like, fighting off the temptation to evil mortality, that'd be fine, I guess. I mean, it won't be amazing, but it'll be fine, I suppose, as an ending to this little arc. It might be the first time that they end an arc in an okay way, because, you know, how I've reacted to every other arc they've made so far. He doesn't even look like a fighter. He looks like a wizard. Like, it looks like he's using, like, fucking Fireball. I summon Fireball! Right. I am gonna go to the bathroom, so I will leave you to your... whatever it is that you're doing. Give me a minute. I'll be back in a moment. So, you know. VOD people, you get to see this skip ahead if you're on YouTube. Watch it on there. Please. Please. Hello. I hope you enjoyed your break. Now, you know what? I should have zoomed right in on these tits. It was a mistake. Should have zoomed in. Alright, let's follow the little thing. Go! Oh my god, the dark tide's here. Look, there's the monsters and whatnot. Wait, what? Wait, where do I go now? Wait. Do I have to press a button? Oh, here. Oh, it's a... You have to follow the noise? You want? Oh my god, she's dying! So, monsters are everyone. Leave me and go. I see, I see. He's returned with the milk! I've returned with the milk. The milking will begin. Please prepare. I just end like that. I remember being trapped with Angel, surrounded by tactics. Why is it so loud? Holy shit. Stop making that noise, Gabe! Jesus fucking Christ. Had me for a brave guy stepping and fighting his life. None of us would have made it. Perhaps we would create the attack back then. Okay, let's go far. That is so annoying. That like puzzle of just like listen to the weird fucking noise and chase it down is so annoying. Holy shit. You know, I'm just throwing it out there. I think it would have been way more interesting if, rather than like the girl Angel being all like, go, you can like, you get away, run, Augusta. Instead of that, if they had been like, more, you know what I mean, more interesting? If she had been like terrified, like, please save me, please don't leave me, that kind of shit, that'd have been way cooler. Because like, that would have been way more depressing, and it would have been more of an impact on Augusta. Instead of like, Angel's like this selfless little girl who I remember from my youth. No. She's like truly 100% like fucking like just, you know, terrified and died. That'd be great. I would have enjoyed that. But then again, I'm home. I'm not the nicest. Hey, look, you can see where it starts melting over there, even though we're in the non-melty universe right now. Oh my god, the gladiator died. He doesn't look like he's got gladiator outfit on. That's pretty based. Don't die on your knees, bros. If you have a chance, don't die on your knees. Augusta's like, oh my god, someone died. Wait, where's the other one? Pick up the sword? That's cool. Thank you. Thank you for the sword, nerd. Wow, I can't believe young Augusta stole a sword. What an awful thing to do. Okay. Okay, I guess Angel's not that hurt, but she's just standing and shit. I mean, with a name like Angel, everyone knows what's about to happen, right? Like, come on. Oh my god, you're gonna get murdered. By me! Ah! Okay. And I get over here. Oh. Oh shit, she was the only one running just then. So, Augusta being like the strong one, it makes sense. Let's see what this goes. Oh no, they're still in here. Oh, there's her. Okay, it's just her shotgun. Okay. She's still like suffering. I think, okay, I know it's a limitation of the model, but wouldn't it be nice if she could like be like holding on to her, like supporting her as she walked along? Oh, is this the part where she dies? Oh no, they made it. I think it would have been nice if the model looked like it was holding onto her. Like, you know, onto her shoulder. Because, like, she's supposed to be hurt and stuff. Like she just model wise, and also as a kid, maybe it would have been nicer if she was a little bit more like terrified. It's just like, yeah, in my dying children story, they weren't dying enough. She doesn't say face alone. She says, "Are you going to stay out here? Don't go." Yeah, it's a bit better. I like I like what she's saying in this. It's a bit more So young Augusta's like got a backbone that holds up. Little girl, she's gonna die because she's called Angel. What a terrible name. Ah, she died. Cutscene of little Augusta trying to fight. No, that would have been cool. Oh, she's gonna do it. She's gonna fight him. All right. Oh my god. POV. You're in the UK and they're coming for you. I shouldn't say that. No. Well, maybe you should stab it. Maybe you should stab it and just let it and stop letting it slime past you. Why didn't you stab it? I mean, this is the... Okay, this is kind of stupid. Oh. I see. So it was literally some sort of weird goo monster. I like this visual, though. Doesn't that look cool? Like, you know, for everything you can say about Weathering Waves fucking up sometimes, and generally they do, look at these cool moments they have. Damn, it looks awesome. And obviously the whispers are their evil thing. If the monster had been something like more akin to a rule of the universe, it'd be more interesting. But it's just like an evil fucking whisper monster. So basically, I guess the village was attacked, but some of them made discords, but the monstrous like goo stuff was literally seeking out weak people? That's weird. So it just didn't eat her because she was too weak? Even though she's brave? What? I mean, she did actually claim the throne, so I guess it worked out for her in the long run. You long to become a hero to reign by might. She does eventually, so it all worked out. Damn, that design, that like the cool like thing of her holding the thing and the horrible monster got flowing around her. That's really cool. Are we gonna find a body in there? Oh my god, if there's like a stone child body in there, like ripped in half or something, that would be fucking baller. Because her name was Angel. Perhaps if she was called Liv and Happy Life, that would have probably worked out really better for her. Perhaps they should have named her Long Happy Life, 12 Children, White Picket Fence, and it would have really worked out in her favor. The whispers, they were real, but not legend from us. They were words of cruelty. Well, yeah, because the fucking main villain of this thing just says spooky stuff. Yeah, strong now. Damn. It's ridiculously how big those... Sorry, I'm sorry, I'm so easily distracted. Yeah. It's about strength. It makes sense. As a child, I had no desire for power, but in the city of Terminal, so I wished to rise beyond my original origin. In silence, arrogance, stress, and vain fortune, I had no other path. It is a pretty good system, really, when you think about it. I mean, you gotta throw it out there. Like, she did manage to take out, like, her the horrific noble society fucking everything up. Say what you will about a society that bows down to the strongest warrior, they seem to have a better approach to corruption than our own societies. If they're gonna, okay, I'm gonna throw this out here, Augusta. This is my suggestion for you for how to deal with the fact that the nobles are plotting against you. Line them up against a wall, get a team of crossbowmen, and shoot them. As much as I enjoy the political process of making people realize, look, you're being manipulated. Let's give them a trial. Sometimes, when you're the absolute ruler of an all-powerful society, you just need to be convinced of your own opinion and murder them. And while that may not work in a perfect world, I think Augusta's pretty based. So, you know what, Augusta? Just march in there, kill them, murder their families, salt their fields, rape... Okay, not rape. I was about to say rape their fucking farms or whatever. But, take their names off the fucking... the titles and statues, remove them from history, and there you go. Done. Victory. Their absurd schemes only betray their fear. Yeah, that's true. They got false prophecies. Yep. You don't believe in the prophecy? You know what? Yeah, fuck it. Make your own fate. That's pretty based. I suppose you gotta live with the fact that, to some level, people in, like, political power or raised to be administrators within a government will, in turn, have endless ambition. It's like an unavoidable reality of politics. You will never have, like, people who gain to power and be like, yay, I'm in power now. Let's all, like, work together. And no, they're all going to be like, no, I want to take the most power. I'm going to rip you apart so I'm in charge. And I get to be the one over... They're all going to fucking do that. Doesn't matter how nice they appear on the outside. They'll all do that. It's an unavoidable thing because it's like they say, like, you know, fear the person who seeks power. And there's truth to that. There's truth to that. In that, there's truth to that in that, like, a politician or a leader who gains those positions usually does so with the ambition to be the leader in the first place. And then it just ends up in this endless fucking arguments over fucking shit that never should have mattered in the first place, that only matters because people force it to matter. I kind of like, you know, I think, you know, living in a crazy world where you can murder all those people sounds pretty great, Augusta. Maybe you should just kill them. Why don't you just kill them? I'm just throwing it out there. Why don't you just kill the Senate? Yeah, rule has no right to falter. Fair enough. By resonanceability raises doubts among his Myros rule, then let the true hero step on charge. Are we gonna make out?
ただならぬ力を持ち、黒き波から誕生したもの。実際のところ、英雄王の予言通りなの。
Wait, am I gonna become the fucking next ruler of Septimon? I don't want to be the ruler of Septimon. That seems like annoying. And I mean, like, if I got in charge, I'm telling you right now, it'd be pogroms all the way down. Literally, I'd just be like, oh, what's that? You're an annoying noble house? I guess I'm just gonna kill you. Even though I know it's gonna lead to complete fuck up of the entire governments and systems. I'll be like, yeah, fuck it, you're annoying. I don't have the fucking patience to have to deal with, like, a bunch of snooty goddamn nobles being like, yes, we're going to bring down the emperor. Ha 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 ha. Like, yeah, whatever. Soldiers, go in while they sleep, stab all of them, kill them in their beds. They don't deserve to die on their feet. Like, I would be a terrible, terrible ruler. I would pull everything apart on that. Although, technically, if you play like that in Crusader Kings, you tend to go pretty well. So, you know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe... Yeah. Don't worry, I'm not going to challenge you unless that challenge is in bed. God, she's so hot. It's too sad that after this arc I'll never see her again. Except for like the final part of the game, I guess. It never crossed my mind. From what I've seen, being a true ruler isn't about having immense strength, it's about whether that powerful strength or sheer ability might. Are we going to talk about the qualities of rulership now? Well, from hang along to around city who live with real integrity, their skills with backgrounds are different and more perfect. Yeah, I suppose you can't have really a perfect ruler. Well, no. Here's the thing: no one's a perfect ruler. Not from the fact that like their people have flaws. It's from the fact that a perfect ruler would be yourself. You would be the perfect ruler in your own world. The perfect ruler doesn't exist because people have all of their subjective opinions. The ideal ruler, I think, in my opinion, my perfect ruler would be someone like Augusta, who probably gains even more power. A benevolent tyrant is the ideal ruler. Now, you might think to yourself, what? Tyrant? No. Listen. The ideal ruler is a benevolent tyrant. A benevolent tyrant, because a tyrant generally has everything under their control. They have absolute power. They don't have to deal and fuck around with a lot of other elements that. And assuming an absolute tyrant has like, they've got to have some things on their side, like the military, all those things. They got to make sure they get that stuff under their control. But someone like Augusta here, whose power comes from might and is respected and rules over all of the force due to that, like respect of the might, the soldiers follow her because she's strongest, would be ideal, because in this particular society, she is benevolent. She'd probably force rules that would be ideal for her people, lead to, happiness and growth and stuff, and would lead, and like there's clearly less corruption because she's in charge and stuff like that. And yeah, it works out perfect. I can see the ideal. The only problem is like the handoff of power and subsequent stuff. Like, is it going to be her children? Would it be another ruler who is like powerful? Like, does it leave the moment she like turns fucking 30 and suddenly her sword arm isn't strong enough? Like, there's arguments there, which is why an immortal benevolent ruler would be ideal in a lot of cases of a government system. Problem is, you'd probably have a lot of issues. For one, like even a benevolent ruler, given enough time, would probably be corrupted by something, being an immortal. I mean, potentially. You'd think so, after enough time. The corruptibility of man is a consideration. Furthermore, like how would the fact that the leadership of a government be, like, let's say just her is an immortal, how would that affect people below her? Because like there is a truth to be said for what will happen in the future. And I'm going to say this now. This is probably not going to happen in our lifetimes, even if you're a motherfucking, 5-year-old who somehow stumbled onto this stream. we probably will end up in a world where we have an undying upper class. Whether it be through breakthroughs of medicine, medications, or fucking augmetics, or whatever it is, there will come a time where the upper class will live for such an extended period, if not endless period, where you will have like a permanent fixture of what the world will look like in terms of the top-downs effect. People often think about this as like a corporate elite, and that's a very likely thing, because even if you just took random people who were like normal people now and you gave them the abilities to become immortal or become ageless, they would eventually just via natural growth take control of a lot of things. So there's an interesting idea in there, and like that's probably going to happen to our society eventually. I am wondering how that'll look. Unfortunately, I'll be dead by then, unless through some luck I end up being one of the people who gets to be in charge, in which case we'll see how it goes in my future horrifics that I will bend to the world. I have returned with a succulent Chinese meal and a Japanese beer. What beer? Sapporo is the only beer from Japan I like. Kirin was like, it's alright, I guess. But Sapporo is the only beer from Japan that I actually enjoyed. But then again, it's the only beer I enjoy, period. Every other beer, I fucking hate beer. Beer is awful. Anyone who enjoys beer, I'm like, no! How can you drink beer? It sucks. Kirin? It's fine. But Sapporo is better. Sapporo is way better. Legitimately. Drink Sapporo if you can. If you get into Japan, you should always do that. Spirit they're born with, unyielding. That's fair. Especially, I'd say like a unyielding determination spirit is probably a very good system trait to have in a government or having a leadership position. Because, otherwise you'll be like pulled down by others or led by others by the nose. You can always have like confidence in the wrong direction, I suppose. I like beer from time to time. No, fuck you. What? Look at you, skeleton, drinking beer. What the hell? What do you mean everything isn't just straight spirits? Let me guess. I'm supposed to like re-encourage her because the whispers are telling her to gain power from them because she's gonna lose or whatever. See this? She's fallen in love with me. Yay, she's fallen in love with me. Well, we don't need to ask what happened. Is she just going to say, look in the hole? She'll just say, look in the hole. That would actually be a pretty peak response. Look in the hole. What? Okay, that's different. So basically, when they found her resonance ability had grown immensely so powerful. So basically, her magical power grew as the monster came to kill her. The princess has fallen in love with a sock. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. God, I wish. She failed to control it. I could do nothing but watch her as she transformed into something no longer human. After that, I never saw her again. Okay, so it's obviously the big monster she has to fight. So I gotta go fight the little child that became a monster. Gotcha. Understood. Task understood. We will do a late-term abortion. Alright. Jump in the hole! Woo! Oh, okay, you have to actually press button. Damn it. I was hoping it would, like, actually let me drop down. That'd be really cool. Could you imagine how cool that would be? Okay. Give me a cutscene of her turning into a monster and, like, bursting at the seams. Okay, imagine right now if the little girl Angel's head splits apart like a watermelon and like horrific tentacles pop up. How cool would that be? Oh my god. Sometimes moments like this always remind me, like, why can't every scene be a cutscene? Because, like, you're really not throwing it out there. Maybe this will be a cutscene. Okay, that's it. That's unexciting. What do you smell, you little monster? Little munchkin? What do you mean? How could the Dark Tide and her frequency be the same? Isn't it obvious? The big monster is Angel. Like, I mean, are we insane? I mean, it's a bit weird that the Dark Tide gave power to her, like, and then, like, got eaten by her. I guess the Dark Tide's a bit stupid. You know, it's a bit dumb. Occasionally it's like, haha, I'm gonna give this child a gun. Oh god, it's using it on me. Computer program, Rover to be, computer. Program Rover to be 7-foot tall Futanari goddess. True. True. And not Rover. We need Ab to be an 8-foot tall super goddess monster evil girl with massive tits. Like, just like, actually no, I don't believe in too far. Maybe the size of Augustus. Yeah, that reminds me of that fucking girl. What's his name? So wait, now I gotta go down the hole. It's gonna be a fight or something. What now? Oh, I just left. That was boring. I mean, I don't know if I'm just the crazy one, but I thought I was gonna fight it. I thought there was gonna be a cool cutscene of like the child bursting apart at the seams. That would have been cool. Wait, don't tell me. That happens in the trailer for the character trailer for Augusta. And that it happens in the character trailer for Augusta. And like we never see it in the game, right? Fucking goddamn withering waves. Yeah.
確かに黒潮だ。ほぼ間違いだ。一つだけ気になるところがあるんだ。ボスたちが送ってきた周波数。多分黒潮と何者かの共鳴能力が激しくぶつかり合った時の名残だと思う。黒潮と比べれば大した脅威じゃないけど、他のエナジーに触れてうっかり起きちゃったら、どんな力が解き放たれるのか。エンジェル。
Alright. Let's go fight your childhood friend who's turned into a big old monster who will die and goes, thank you, Augusta, and die. I mean, if that happens, it'll be fine. I mean, it's not perfect, but like comparison of what the really bad stories have been so far in this, yeah, it's not that bad. Damn! That guy's got some fucking glutes on him.
信用追跡の命令が正式に下される前にアンカーストーンの設置を確実に完了しなくてはならないので。
まったく、アビディウスよ。君は自分の立場をまだ理解していないようだ。
The Senate, man. The evil senators. Wow, they're here? Why are they even bothering here? Should we just kill them? See, why not just kill them?
はて、ファルコ殿、もう少しわかりやすくおっしゃってください。
Avidius, I know you're trying to like become the king, but like I guess you got to understand that like you're literally a pawn for all of the politicians. Tits too big. Waiter, my lobster too buttery. My steak far too juicy. True.
先のティラノス狩り、君の働きぶりは実に残念だった。
You must be aware of your underwhelming performance during the Tyrannos hunt.
元老院の面々は君が思うほど寛大ではないぞ。マネスの底を4度も踏破したようだが、卓越した働きを再び示せなければ、次期英雄王の候補を再建。
Punch him! Punch him! Basically saying, you gotta do good shit, otherwise we won't be able to use you as a puppet.
しっかりするのだ、アビディウスよ。上ごとの町こそ、マネスの底の所在地。 かつて君が輝きを放った闘技場ではないか。それほどの才能がありながら、なぜオーガスタの下にいることを受け入れ、こんな雑用ばかりしているのだ。君はもっと高い地位に立ち、大きな力を使うべき人間だろう。
See, these are the kinds of people that you need to stab in the back. This is why our political systems have become so boring and uninteresting and inefficient. We don't have people. There are people like this right now in government, and we just don't kill them. That's a big problem, in my opinion. How very amusing, Lord Falcon. Oh, he looks like he's fighting against the handlers. You seek a ruler to be lead, yet pliable enough to be led. You'd rather have better luck finding a needle in the sea. I mean, good point. Like legitimately good point. If I was in your position, I'd keep my mouth shut. So Septimon falls, so will your ambition. Based? Well, that's the thing about, like, desperate politicians. They don't really think about that. Desperate politicians don't think about the fact that, like, you know, if their actions might undermine the defense or protection of their empire. How many empires in the world have been completely destroyed by, like, the internal lust for power of people like this? It's just the reality of many empires throughout history and countries, in fact. To be honest, a lot of them don't think that they're destroying the countries. They usually think, oh, I'll grab power and then I'll fix everything. Or my way is better, I'm more powerful, I can do it better and stuff like that. They don't usually intend to, but the reality ends up happening that in their struggles against each other for a variety of reasons and power, they end up undermining their own countries, and then it falls apart and they probably run off and hide or die in some uprising and then are like, what do you mean? It's not my fault. It's like, no, it was your fault. You just didn't have the wisdom or the ability to step back to see that it was your fault. I'm waiting for my... But, you know, there's an argument about, like, when you shouldn't do those things. But I think in this particular Gacha story, we can be very clear that the Senate man is very bad and stupid. I am waiting for my beer glass to chill so I can properly enjoy my Kirin and Authentic. Why is it going to chill? What do you mean chill? Is it already... Was it in the fridge?
状況に迫られたからではなく、グラディエーターとしての責務を果たすため。
Basically saying, like, I'm not going to be your pet. This should probably be a wake-up call to the senator. Like, I think senators, they're a bit stupid, honestly. Like, the senator's got to realize you can't fucking puppet someone to be a leader like that. That's not how it works. The blood I shed, the blood I willed, if those were proof of loyalty and not entertainment for the lords, if that's how you see it, then perhaps I should reconsider this alliance. That's kind of based. You know, for everything that, like, they say about this guy, kind of based. Shut the fuck up. Punch him. Stab him. What the fuck? Why is he, like, fucking having an aneurysm back here? Let me guess, the evil whispers are in his brain as well? Oh my god, he's going to... What? Okay, that was really weird. I don't know what happened. Was he about to fucking use a Kamehameha? Like, what the fuck just happened?
以前の行動中、侵食された像に接触したのでしょう。先ほどの振る舞いを見るに、彼の意識は黒潮に腐敗させられています。
Okay, so he's affected by the brain parasites of this place. I mean, it could have been a bit obvious, but I guess they did say brain parasites are a thing. I chill my big beer glass where I will pour 2 bottles of Kirin.
ヘルクレス殿、申し訳ありませんが、ファルコ殿を安全な場所へお連れください。
Okay.
ここはマネスの底の入り口から遠くありません。自生するメソナのおかげで、当時、私や戦友たちは黒潮の蝕みから逃れることができたのです。
Okay. Am I gonna play as him?
ファルコ殿は傲慢さゆえに報いを受けました。それでも、かつて勇猛な英雄だったことに間違いはないでしょう。本当義に基づき、ヘルクレス殿にこの場を一時的にお任せしても、
I do like Advidius, but I think Augusta's a better leader because she's more hot. But she's also prepared to murder people, so that's kind of based. Or at least I get the vibe she's about to murder people, which is great. Have you never enjoyed beer in a chilled glass? Of course I've enjoyed... No, I haven't actually. I mean, like, I've enjoyed cold beer, I guess. Chilled glass beer? I don't know what the fuck is different. What's the difference between cold beer and the beer in the cold glass? The fuck is the difference? They're both cold. The hell are you trying to tell me? Haven't fucking... You questioning me? You questioning my beer drinking habits, which are 0? Look at all the mutant monsters. Fucking cordyceps looking motherfuckers. Hey look, it's the tree. The oak tree. Where's he going down there for? Is it the oak tree or is this a different place? What? What the hell are you seeing, bro? Okay, he's being affected by spooky things. What? I don't get it. I don't... So he's revealed something about his history? Maybe him going into the mains wasn't real? Like his actual adventure was like an evil adventure? Maybe he failed? And like the spooky tide used brain powers on him? Well, we'll find out. Whee! Yes, it's doubly cold and crisp, stays chilled much longer and looks much nicer. You have a decent head of good pour. But here's the problem though, Skellington. Beer is awful and tastes bad. So that doesn't really change it. You can cool down some, you know, an entire thing of piss, but it still tastes like piss, you know? Have you considered that? I think it's a very, very serious element that you need to consider there. I'm just like, you know, you can tell me all the fancy ways to drink piss, but it's still drinking piss. Alright, we gotta find it, sexy. Sorry, I was staring at your tits again, so I kept getting distracted. Every time she walks forward and I see that, like, jiggle, my brain just goes, Detective, I'm going to put you in a jar. It seems like a bad idea. Why would you do that? That's a bit mean. Oh, that's, Luno's bracelet, right? Go, Luno bracelet. Oh my god! Goopy monster shows up. Alright. Oh nice, she's got some nice tits out for an NPC. That's what I noticed. Oh my god, it's a big black balls! These big black balls... Okay, it's not a black ball, it's a dude. Let's go beat him up. Alright, let's beat him up. Now, is this going to be a you lose automatically kind of situation? Come back here. Ah, fuck. There you go. Die, piece of shit. Okay, cutscene. What's going to happen now? Is she gonna be like, I need to accept the power? Oh my god, it's trying to run away again, you big coward. That's neat. Oh! Oh, he got fucked over. Oh no, he's cool metal. It's running into the plant. Oh my god, Black Utaidu. Oh my god, suck. You can't suck. Inefficient sucking. Oh. Now Hero Boy stands before something or another. The English dub is... I know, if I had the English dub on, a lot more people would be quite happy with listening and stuff, but I want to listen to Japanese. I'm not a very good streamer because I do a whole bunch of stuff purely for my own desires more than anything else. Are you okay, Abby? Have you taken enough black liquids into your stomach? Now the tentacle sex can begin. True! Abby inflation! Oh my god, Abby inflation! I'm sorry guys, Abby cannot follow up with Abby inflation. Abby inflation has failed us. No! My Abby inflation porn ruined! I mean... Oh, Luno, the hot one. Say what I will about Augusta, but Luno is like, I would choose Luno a heartbeat. Good lord. Good lord, Luno's hot. Like, come on. Look at that body. Holy shit. The hair, fluffy twin tails. Shrinks you fuse will now become a blade that strikes you down. To spurn a gift, divine gift is invite consequence, and divinity offers mercy but once. I'm literally God. I'm just throwing it out there. I am literally a god. Her name is pronounced Yuno. Oh yeah, I get it. But I always call her Luno. This is why I call the other girl Pavlova, despite the fact that she's called Farova or whatever. My brain. It has been established in the past I am probably highly undiagnosed with dyslexia. Wait, I'll just call her Uno. I forgot to remember that. Uno. Yeah, I love Uno. She's so cute. Look at her. She's so cute. I'd fucking draw 2 on her, if you know what I mean. Oh my god, she's so cute. She's so cute. They're so cute. Look at her eyes. Rover, you're less cute, but still cute in your own way. You're kind of like a lesser to cute. Yeah, just like go in there and stab it. It's fine. Yay, soldiers! I like soldiers running around. It's cool. Alright, we gotta go beat the monster up again. Because we only got half of its health done. So now we gotta get the rest of the health now. I might be able to finish off this major quest by today at this rate. Probably not actually. There's probably a few more elements to come in. We gotta have, What's this? It's fine. We just missed out on murdering the monster and just got away again. It's fine. Yeah, I guess so. It's a nightmare. Dark tide spreading, we must act fast and pull a miracle. I mean, it doesn't feel like we're that out of the woods. It kind of feels like we just kind of lost out on getting a good killing on that guy, so we just need to go find him again. I'm not saying it's a terrible thing, but if I had to point it out right now, I'd say that the story isn't really selling to me the danger of the high tide. Like, there's not... I know they're talking about, it's going to do bad things, and I'm like, it's not really selling it to me in a good way. Like, exactly why I should fear them not being able to murder this thing right now. Doesn't seem too terrible. Oh my god, the weather is so bad we can't even hear anymore. Signals down.
なんでよ、こんな時に問題が起きるなんて。もう連絡は取れないの？
黒潮のせいで黒潮の周波数が周波数帯を覆ってしまったのだろう。今の大地は文字通り孤島。
Oh my god, it's controlling the things.
本当にムカつくわ。
It's fine, we'll just go in there and stab it. Like, this is fine, we'll just go in there and stab it. Oh, look at her, like, frustrated mouth. She's all like, huffy. Okay, Uno, you don't need to think about the inside the dark tide's inside. I mean, I think you're going in a bit of a like a unexpectedly lewd direction. Let's calm down. We feed something else. Okay, why don't we give it a grenade? Feed a grenade to the monster. Have you considered this? We're gonna feed it a big stone. I mean, that would give it indigestion.
まさか神王にアンカーストーンを飲み込ませるつもり。けど確かにアンカーが体内で抑制効果を発揮する。
I mean, I don't know how I'm gonna convince. I mean, how would you convince someone to, like, I don't know, just eat a bunch of like fucking irradiated rock? Like, we'll get some fucking boron seals filled with irradiated boron seals and be like, "Ha, here you go, have some lunch." You know? She plays 40k Dark Knight. That'd be kind of cool. I'd love to play with Uno because she's really cute, and she would. I'd be like, you know what, life's worth living. Look how cute she is. She kind of reminds me a little bit of Rin from Fate, design-wise, but I mean, it's as simple as look. Wow, look at the twin tails. Look at her smile, though. I like her eyes too.
黒潮の形態を安定させて神王を権限させること。これは私にしかできないでしょうね。
それは認めん。
No, what? Why not? Why
神
can't...
王の力が桁違いに強くなった今、回復したばかりの体ではエナジーの大量消費に耐えきれぬだろう。
Don't worry, Uno can take so much. Trust me.
見くびらないでちょうだい、オーガスタ。
I am not made of glass.
私はセブンヒルズ史上最高のサトシの女よ。そして黒潮に対抗できる唯一の存在。これくらいのことで簡単に死ぬわけないわ。
True. I mean, she'll be fine, probably. That's rich for coming from the sock that wants to be ruined by red flag women. That and this are different things. Besides, the Sacred Flames already showed me my end. Wait, really? This bitch looked into the future to see her end? Beside the sacred flames already showed me my end, in the warmth of spring, surrounded by white flowers with gentle eyes watching over me. But that day is still far from today. That's crazy to know that she's gonna die then. That is an interesting thing, though. Is their future sight that perfect? Because if you know you're going to die at some point in the future, does that mean you're just like endlessly reckless, like throwing yourself into war and battle because you know it doesn't matter because you already know you'll survive? I honestly don't like that from a narrative perspective. I think it's better that, like, here would be a better option, right? It would be better to say Uno's future side of her death is real. She sees that as a highly possible future. However, she also doesn't tell you that taking these actions now invalidates that future. That it becomes murky and unlike, and like it goes from being an almost certainty if she follows a certain path, that taking this action deletes it. Like that future where she dies in spring in flowers surrounded by people that love her, which is a really strange place to die, just disappears. Like that would be a much more interesting idea. I like the idea of future sight being something it's like prophecy is weird. Sometimes it's certain in the early ways, but like future side of seeing your own future and stuff is messy and gets mixed up. I would prefer that as opposed to like a true certainty of like, you see this happens, because it kind of implies a bunch of bullshit. I can change that. Stabs her right through the chest regardless. You know what? Real. I'm gonna say it right now. If someone told me and they could confirm that they had a future ability and they told me, yeah, I'm gonna die like when I'm 80 with my grandkids watching me in a flower field, I'm gonna be like, oh really? And then I'm gonna pull out a fucking Glock and just plug her in the head and be like, well, you weren't 80, this isn't a flower field, and no one's looking at you gently. like just as an insanity desire, like impulse, like brain impulse type shit, like just like, you just told me you're totally gonna survive everything. What if I just change that right now? See, what you do is a monkey paw this chick. You stab her square in the chest and pour white flowers all over her while staring level in her eyes for 5 seconds. You know, that's actually something that people do. Unironically, I've heard of people and stories where they have like a story that has to end in a certain way. Like they get a future where it said like, well, you're going to die on this day in this way. And they're like, oh, fuck, I'm going to die and I'm going to lose. And what they do is they're like, oh, then the answer is easy. I aim to have that be the outcome on its face. Where they do a whole bunch of shit to like kill off all the people that would fuck over them, yet still lose in that moment, in that like a flash moment of their death, where it's appearing as though they'll lose, but they actually won in all these other ways. Like that's something I've seen before in some things. It's an interesting approach. I'll aim something on your face. I mean, on Uno's face, maybe. Good lord, she's hot. I mean, what? Sorry, what? You know, does this imply that she has gentle eyes looking at her? Does that mean that, like, she's gonna get married and have grandkids? That's not allowed. No gacha girl's allowed to have married and get grandkids. She's not allowed to have children. Because if she has children, that means that she's not with the rover. That's not allowed. Because my rover's a girl. Unless I can use my... I'm probably... Actually, no, I'm a god. I could probably grow a food cock. I'm a god. I'm literally a god. Just for reference here, anyone listening, the rover's a god. She could totally grow a food cock if she wanted to. And to be honest, with a girl like Uno there, who wouldn't? Okay, we've got to go find the monster. Oh, she's doing a little smile. Are we gonna make out? She's spinning her hair. Kiss, let's make out. Is there an option to make out? She's saying thank you? Oh, and yeah, giving back her bracelet. Yeah, of course. Yeah, probably a good idea. To think? Useful, isn't it? Keep it close. No matter how far you go, a part of me always goes with you. Got it. And she's looking into her eyes in like a cheeky, cute way. To think that anyone saw her and Augusta and thought that they were true lesbian lovers that weren't interested in the rover, the headcanon is ridiculous there. Like, good lord. Like, fucking Uno met you for 10 minutes and it was already like... You know, actually, considering she can see the future... If Uno was to make some, like, implications about her future with the rover, I think that'd be kind of cute and kind of interesting. Like, what do you do when, like, a girl who can see the future makes highly suggestive moves towards you and implications about what your relationship might be like in the future? Like, how do you respond to that? Bible Black taught me that there are powers beyond comprehension that allow the growth of Futadongs. True. Bible Black giving us the true education we need. But why can't I make out with it? Since I've given you a tool, let me return and ask one thing. Yeah, okay, I'll make out with you. Don't worry, Uno. I'd make out with you. We'll make out. We'll bang, okay? We'll bang, okay?
運命に立ち向かうって。これは提案でも命令でもなく、私個人の願い。
Oh my god, she's manipulating me into saving her best friend who I would have saved anyway because she's really hot and, you know, she's, you know, one less hot woman in the universe. So rude. No, let's not allow that. I have seen begging in your distant near future. How can it be a distant near future? Guys, run, I'll hold her off. Don't worry, I'll stop her, guys. Guys, run for it, I'll hold her off.
だってあなたにしかできないから。
Yeah, I mean, she totally loves me. I'm great. But that's sketchy game for you.
私、なんとなく分かった気がするの。人知の及ばぬ空白の意味を。
Your unknowable fate really means. Oh yeah, because like she's gonna die surrounded by flowers and happiness, but her best friend is apparently gonna die in a void. Neat.
漂白者。もしかしたら空白は無を意味するわけではない。運命は伝えようとしていたのよ。空白とはまだ確定していない未来のこと。
Really? Okay, fair enough, I guess. But just for reference, for anyone wondering what the fuck they're just saying right now, is it's nothingness, detective, as long as it's represented by your own will, a future that can't be defined by anything but your own will. In other words, I'm the only one who has the ability to defy fate. And I'm like, yeah, of course, I'm a god. So, yeah, of course. There's so many chosen one elements here. I really don't like the ability to defy fate. Now, I know I've said all this stuff about, like, I don't like fucking fate stories where they're like, you must do this. But what I'm trying to point out is this. Isn't it more interesting that, like, we get reinforced that fate is, like, unavoidable and then, like, fighting against it is, like, an impossibility, and then over the course of multiple stories and quests, we have small little cracks. Like, for example, like, you know, an image of, like, failing, and we fail a few times in certain ways, and then we get to the thing of, like, you won't be able to stop anything, but then we do something that, while it doesn't stop it, we just change it a little bit, and we grow into trying to overcome something like that. But this game is all about saying that you're a god, you're the best ever, you made a city, you're always this, you're always that. You're too glazed, honestly. You glazed so much in this fucking game.
要するに空白がある限り、あなたは自分自身をどんな形にも定義できる。あなたの存在がそれを表してるわ。
So, as long as void exists, you control your story, your existence is meaning itself. So basically, because I'm the hero, I get to decide the ending of the story. Boring! Give me a challenge!
どうかオーガスタのそばにいてあげて。私にはわかるわ。
I mean, I'll stand by Augusta because she's hot,
心の
but
底からあなたを信頼している。
she trusts me? Yeah, we met like 20 minutes ago.
何があっても彼女を信じてほしい。ほんの少しも疑わずに。
Don't doubt her in the slightest. Sure, I won't doubt her. Sure, I'll promise. Why not?
悪くない返事ね。
Alright, Uno, but
それじゃあ
in
二人とも
return for this,
ぐずぐずしてないから出発しなさい。
I'm gonna have to do some stuff later, and I expect you to come along if you understand my meaning, priestess. There's certain rituals we need to engage in. Making Rover a god that meddles in everyone's adventures is kind of makes everything pointless when your actions alter almost everything to your will. That's the problem. It's the big problem. A lot of the gachas like to make you a chosen one in some form or method. I think that Kuro Games' choice of making you the ultimate super god, everyone's bestest, most powerful, over-the-top super thing, is a mistake. It was made from a place of hope. Like, they were like, ooh, make the main character more interesting, more powerful, like, you know, going for that wish fulfillment element. But ultimately, I think it fell back on them. I know they were trying to do, but what you're trying to do doesn't necessarily mean you will do it. I think Rover being so overpowered has knocked back on them, like, crazily. Because everything that happens in the story, I can't take it seriously. Like, for example, if I'm playing Girls Frontline, I know that the main character, the commander, is a guy with a gun. I know that the dolls are robots. And I can conceptualize the limits of their power. The Rover is a literal god with, like, endless conceptual powers, makes divine beings, like the divine beings that they're praying to, the divine beings that's trying to tempt this girl, she made them. Well, no, the one she made trying to tempt her isn't the one she made, but anyway, she makes them. She just makes gods. That's the kind of character we're dealing with. Rover is a Rover is a MacGuffin to win. And it's one of the biggest issues with the story, as I've spoken about, because it drills directly into the greater lore of the story. And the greater lore of Wuthering Waves is fucking trash. Is actual trash. I hate to say this to the odd Wuthering Waves player who may have joined the stream randomly at a certain point in time, or maybe watching this VOD, but your lore is so bad. And I mean that in the kind of way that a kid's lore, where he's like talking about how his dolls in the sand pit are like really super powerful gods and uses an endless super shield to fight the endless super monster, but then they get a super power up at the lot. That's what Rover's lore feels like. It's really shitty. Look at this smudge bitch staring there thoughtless while the other life goes through life's trials and tribulations. That's true. Rover needed more personality is a fundamental thing I'm trying to say. Because you can probably have your super god if you make her interesting or like complicated in some way. For example, what if she's like a super god and then like Rover's like a super god, but then like various laws of divinity lock them down? How about this? Rover deliberately deleted their memories and knocked themselves down to mortality in this story in an attempt to overcome the problems of being a god. Like, there's a lot of interesting options you could still do with the Rover being a god, but they just kind of say, nah, Rover, you're still a god. You're, like, overpowered. Everyone loves you. You're the most powerful ever. You can just, like, courage and friendship your way into literally anything, and concepts are basically powers you rip apart on a daily basis. It's just too much. Can I have my super god and eat her too? Maybe you could eat her out. Oh, I'm sorry. I impulse told me to say that. By the way, speaking of eating her out, damn, Uno, so cute sitting on there. Look at it, moving her little fucking shaking her little feet. She's so cute. Are you not cold from getting like wet in this rain while you're wearing like a bunch of cloth? Like, okay, so she's saying something more firm and distinct. For someone without an unwritten fate. So basically, my one's an unwritten fate. I can do whatever the fuck I want. Because I'm a god. Is it true they can never break free no matter how hard they struggle? She's saying basically, is her super future sight unviable? Now, here's a big deal. You might not think this is a big deal. This is a big deal to me. As someone who reads a story, fate and like prophecy and how much future is malleable is a very interesting element for how your story goes on. So, is it confirmed that Uno over here is going to die in a field at 80 years old surrounded by happy faces? Look at her feet. Damn, feet. How do you say that, though? I mean, it's... Okay, I prefer I don't know rather than, like, perfectly fate is confirmed, but let's see. What do you mean you don't know? Or is that her avoidance because she doesn't want to maybe she's saying that because she wants to avoid saying that, like, Augusta's, like, doomed to death? The fact that there's no music here where I can... See, that moment there, I can imagine a better way to do it. Now speak. Say the history, like, Uno. Say the fact that she's doomed to die. Say it. Or, like, I hope it's unavoidable. Well, what's she gonna say? Your ass is really fat, and I like it a lot. So I've been thinking our final fate might be already written, but how we walk to that path is up to us. As humans, we are meant to carve out our way forward. I like that idea, generally, but we'll see. We can't rewrite fate. We can chase it, outpace it, and when we catch up, smack it right in the face. I understand what she's trying to say here. She's trying to say what I was saying before. That if your fate, like, it all depends on how detailed your future side is, or fate might be. But if you see your death in like a situation where you will fail or die in some situation, there's no guarantee. Like, well, I might say yes in this situation. Red text, you are, well, that's a reference you won't get. You'll die here. You will not go beyond this point. We can still accept that that's the fate, but everything else we build up to it can be different. For example, what's there to say that I haven't created some sort of method to die and then come back? Or what's to say that my goals ultimately were achieved despite my death? Or what's to say that this death may occur, but it's a lie? I could maybe create a lie, trick the world, trick everyone into thinking I'm dead. And that might be the future that is seen rather than my true death. Is she just saying that to struggle against fate? She's saying that, yes, because, like, I think the implication is Uno basically, she just said she doesn't know about whether fate is confirmed, but the true, I feel the implication is there that Uno's right. She believes that the fate defined that she sees is real and unavoidable. Aside from the main character who's like magical or bullshit, you know, I'm a god. But for other people, she's saying that their endings, the prophecies of their fates that she can see are firm and unavoidable. She's saying you can't stop this happening. And that depressed her, and why she's yelling up here, she's like, we can still fuck with this, she's saying. I have decided to deceive the fates. I have drawn this picture of you giving birth, therefore rewriting history. Well, that's the kind of thing you got to think about. It all comes, but that kind of story element does come to how do you see that future? Does Uno just see a vision of something happening, or does Uno see like a true detailed description as though it would fucking every single moment to moment history? Like, what she sees depends on it. Like I said, if your vision is the death of, say, Augusta in the middle of, like, the Colosseum, hit by a giant fucking, like, thing that falls on her. Why can't we just let that happen, but we weaken the floor beneath the Colosseum and she falls through? We could set it up. Like, the point I'm trying to say is, you can see a fate, but you can still twist it. In this, though, they're saying more like you can lead up there as a different way. Like, you know, you might have a confirmed end. Like, your death might be... And I'm not sure if Augusta's aiming for it, because I believe there's some suggestion that Augusta wanted to get immortality. Maybe Augusta's like, I want immortality, and Uno's saying, you don't succeed. And Augusta's like, well, that's not going to stop me from trying. Which is interesting. I do like the idea of a character trying to seek immortality. Don't forget what you once said. A ruler assumes their place by accomplishing the impossible for their subjects. The music's quite nice, for once. Usually the music is kind of like dull and uninteresting. Oh, I can talk to Avidius. I mean, you know what? I think the story deserves that. I'll take the optional option for a second. What'd you see? It doesn't exist? So you're saying that these memories were... Oh my god! We can look in his skirt! Oh my god! Male upskirt! Male upskirt detected! We are... Twist that shit like testicular contortion. Alright. But, no, I like the ideas presented here. Sometimes they're presenting them in like, not the ideal way, or they're just kind of doing it in a more creepy, silly, and like not a fun way. But generally speaking, this has been one of the better arcs, which is not saying much, because while yes, there are a lot of elements I would change, to improve. I keep thinking that for almost every gacha game I play. But no, this has got to be one of the better ones so far. Now, I'm going to leave it here, though, because we are reaching our time. What will we do tomorrow? I have no fucking idea. Maybe we'll continue this and we'll finish off this story. I think it might be a good idea to finish it off. Or I'll play some Helldivers or something. Who knows? I'll figure it out. But thank you for chilling and hanging out. I'm going to head out and have a little bit of a sleep because my head hurts and I'm still a bit sick, as you might hear in my voice, because I want to get some recording done in probably soon. And yeah, we'll chill out with that. But thanks for hanging out. Thanks for we should have a 2 to 3 hour WuWa edge ses. Oh, you want to just... How about we play WuWa, but I add in all of the mods to make it like so you can... they don't have any clothes on. You know what? Does that sound like a good idea? Actually, it's a terrible idea because, you know, just throwing it out there. If the rover had no clothes on, just like throwing it out here. If like Luno, the rover, Augusta had no clothes on, like you could just see the big titties, I think she'd be less attractive. I think she'd be less attractive. If I could see all of Rover's like body, I think she'd be way less attractive. You know, I'm just gonna say it. And if you don't think so, I think you just really haven't really considered. You just haven't considered what a true ideal female form looks like. Clothing matters. It's the dressing on a cake. Okay, that sounds kind of horrific. But what I'm trying to say is, if you just put a mod on to just take off all the clothes, you're missing out. Maybe mod them in some interesting clothes. Would be interesting. Or like some hotter outfits you could go for. But also I'm not that level of a gooner, to be honest. I'm a low tier gooner. I'm just like, I'm happy with Rover's tits being nice and big in the base game. Don't worry, they'll be removed once the she'll be flat as a board once that comes. So what you're saying is just some flappy lips down there or something full beep cut. Jesus Christ, that's gross. The way, but no, people like they would mod that, yeah, you know, mods straight up so you could see everything, but it'd be so unattractive. It'd be so unattractive. Clothing is the cuteness. Why do you think people go, wow, I love hot pants? Because they're great. Just had no pants on and be like, all right, I guess. No. Never give in to the belief that just make something naked is better. No. Cool, cute outfits are good. Like, look at the China girl. Look at that. I mean, she's got plenty covered, but damn, she's really cute. I like it. You know, this funny thing about this character? I don't think she's even in the main story. Funny thing about her. Like, legitimately. I got her in the gacha role. I've never seen her in the main story. Or at least I can't remember seeing her in the main story. I actually think she doesn't exist in the main story. Which is fucking hilarious. She's like a side event character that I just never engaged with. Because I only do the fucking main story. She has her own companion quest? Oh yeah, no doubt. But is she part of the main story? I don't think so. Because I haven't seen her at all in the main story that I can remember. She was probably part of like her own like side stuff. And maybe her story's good or whatever. But I have not seen it at all. I have no idea about it. During 1.0, they hadn't decided to integrate companion quests in the main story. They made that decision at Looper's patch. Yeah. Wait, so the main story integrates Looper's companion quest? Well, Looper's entire thing is a companion quest, I suppose. Yeah, I mean, that's the better way to approach it, to be honest. Because, like, I stand by this. If you are making a game, like a gacha game, and you've got side quests, you've got main quests, if you are making a game and you think that this quest side quest is very important, it has contextual information, it establishes something very valuable for the main story, stop calling it a side quest and turn it into a main quest. That's my position on it. Make it a main quest. Make it something I'm forced to play if you're so certain that it's a valuable thing. And that's what I think a lot of games should do, honestly. They took community feedback and made that decision. Honestly, it's a good idea. I mean, to be honest, they definitely needed to take community feedback after fucking the actual mess that was chapter 1. That whole area in chapter 1 up to and including, the fucking, what was the place called again? Black Shore, that's it. Black Shore Place, that was awful. But everything around there. Look at all the things like splitting up. This is cute. Little mushrooms that are going up as they come closer. What do they want from me? But anyway, I thank you all. Side quest, I don't give a thing about that. Give me some side boob. Let me have a look. Side boob? Nah, none here. That is washboard. There you go. Side boob. Yeah. There's a lot of things that I would recommend that Kuro games do differently, but I have similar lists that I would suggest for Star Rail, for Genshin, for Girls Frontline, and other games as well. I think there's a variety of things that gacha games should do, in my opinion, to push up their stories and increase them in value. Some games really do have their best parts in side quests, and I feel like it's an awful option. For example, in Zenless Zone Zero, Season 2 was kind of mid for me, but one of the best things in Season 2 was a side fucking companion quest. And I was like, why? Why is this companion quest, which I don't even need to do for the main story, considered the main, like, so good? And it was the side quest for, like, the crazy girl who has the robot. Seed. She was great. Her side quest was one of the best fucking stories in all of Season 2. It was crazy. And yet it was entirely optional. I don't like those things. I'm like, don't do that. Make it main if you really want. Or at the very least, take the quality of that writing and put it into the main quest. Like, if you have everyone get together for, like, a season of the gacha game, and they all put their stories together and everyone talks about them, recognize the good ones and say, can we change this up so this is a main element of the main story? Because that sounds great. This is a fun element. But they never really do that, and we ended up with fucking awful stories and stuff. Are you going to play the Cyberpunk collab story then? It's technically not a main story quest. Yes, he loves CP. Fuck, shut the fuck up. But I'm thinking about it. Because like I did. For those of you who don't know, I made a 15-minute video about Cyberpunk Edgerunners over on the YouTube channel, on the main YouTube channel, not the fucking VOD channel, where it's just got these. And I even though that video only really got like what 7,000 views, 7,500 views, which was a bit of a flop. I do like Edgerunners, so it is something that I'm considering. Yet at the same time, I'm like, I don't know. Like, do I really want to go back and play through the game that is technically not really canon, not really going to have matter here, but like, and I think from what it probably is, it's probably just going to be like a, well, look, we made Edgerunners, but everyone's happy in the end kind of thing. Is that what they're aiming for? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I really care enough. I'm not a big believer in like, sad endings should be overturned by, like, and I know it's not canon or anything. It's just like a fun little like fan fiction essentially. I'm not sure. I'll have to decide later on once I'm up to date with the game. This is my thoughts on the matter, because like I'm going to make a video on Weathering Waves. I've said it already, but I'm going to make a video on Weathering Waves. But I think that video on Weathering Waves will have to come after I've finished, got up to date. After I'm up to date, I might go back, maybe with the help of some people in my community, ask some people on the Discord, maybe I'll ask some fans of Weathering Waves and say, okay, what is something I should or shouldn't play in Weathering Waves? Give me, like, the quality stuff that is not main story quest, or stuff that really, like, is good. And I don't mean, like, oh, this girl was cute. No, I mean the actual solid, you know, I'd like, amazingly written stuff. If there's some, like, side content that is like that. That may be what I might try and do. Well, the director said it was canon or something. Nah, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Wow. Wow. Fucking, Weathering Waves and the Cyberpunk universe made in the 1980s are actually the same universe, guys! They're actually the same world! What? Like, come on. Like, come on. They're saying that because they want it. They're saying that for the, like, I'm assuming they just say it for, like, the sake of it. Like, guys, the happy end happened. Like, you know, it's not like they really mean it. It's like, it's just a bit of a thing. I don't believe that at all. Like, and if you are, and if anyone ever says to me, oh, don't worry about Weathering, watch about how sad Edgerunners is, just go play Weathering Waves. That's the real continuation. That's like some bullshit. Like, don't worry, guys. The continuation to Lord of the Rings is on the back of a fucking Kellogg surprise box. They have like a puzzle, and you follow it, and it shows them that this is actually how Lord of the Rings should have ended. Don't worry, guys. Like, no, it's not fucking canon. I don't believe that. And the director can say that, but we all fucking know the truth of that. Like, that's like so dumb. Like, it's not even like worth arguing about for a lot of reasons. It's like so absurd. It's like don't worry, guys. SpongeBob's actually a continuation of the Dark Souls, and this is like the world after, where everyone survived and became like a sponge under the sea. It's like, it's the stupidest fucking shit ever. Like, this doesn't count. Like, all that said, I will treat it like a story, and I'll, like, you know, I'll enjoy it as a fan fiction essentially, and like a thing, because I believe you can actually get out of it being like true canon, because they're probably all like just actual frequencies. They're not the actual people. This is basically the equivalent of like my Tupla version of Lucy and fucking all that, having a happy time, you know. But I also don't really care that much to check it out. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. People saying something like it's canon just makes people soy pog and then purchase the thing. I mean, yeah, that is the other side of it. Because if you say it's canon, okay, like let's look at it this way. If you are a director of a thing and you're trying to sell your collab with like a gacha game, and someone says, "Is it canon? Is it canon? Is it canon? Is it canon?" And are you gonna say, "Oh no, guys, this is just a little bit of fun"? No, you're gonna say, "Yeah, it's canon because it happens in the Weathering Waves world." Like, they don't mean it that way, but they have to say it for the purpose of finances. Like, that's just how it is. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. I said I was gonna leave the fucking game, and we ended up sitting here and talking about fucking thing. But the point being is, I will eventually make a video on this absolute hellscape. However long that video takes, who knows? Hopefully I haven't like fucking been depressed by my lack of success on YouTube by that point, and you know, stopped making videos. But we'll see. But thanks for hanging out, everyone. Thank you for chilling. You know, it's always good to hang out. I know I was off stream for a whole week back there, but I thank you guys for coming and checking me out again. I know, like, they say a streamer stops streaming for one time, for 1 week, and everyone will move on and forget them. So I'm glad that you guys came back, and I hope I'll see you on the next one. Have a good one, and stay safe. Or something.